Jason Minix, the Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on a Tuesday afternoon. And, man, do we have a lot to get into on this Tuesday. You had the San Antonio Spurs getting a win last night. They've won back-to-back. Joshua Primo had one hell of a game. And maybe he's listening to us right now as he's driving back up I-35 as he's been assigned back to the G League. Joshua, about 4:30, we're going to talk a lot about you, my man. Keep it locked right here on 94.5 FM. Or, like me, driving around earlier, there's this atmospheric crap going on. Might be one of those days that you're over on AM 1250. Either way, maybe you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitter, wherever James Pledger puts the video out there. James Pledger producing, as always, from the frozen tundra of Eisenhower Road. He's got a coat on worthy of a trip to New York City. Worthy.
That's exactly why I got this coat in the first place.
Is it really? I mean, you got the scarf going. Your headphones look like earmuffs. You look cute. You look like you're ready to walk around Central Park and go ice skating or something, which, by the way, you can ice skate downtown, which is cool. But honestly, dude, I was in the building earlier today. My monthly appearance that I made on the 30th. Got to hit the quota, right? It was warm in there today.
Well,
they turned the heater on.
In that one, I'm on a separate thermostat.
Oh, you're on a separate something. But honestly, I don't think it's necessary for a coat like that. Although this morning, after I was looking at Twitter and I knew, I mean, there's not very many days I wake up, jump on Twitter right away, looking for something specific. Generally, it might be a concert festival lineup. Like tomorrow, they're going to announce the Beale Street Festival lineup for Memphis in May. But I knew that the Navy uniform was going to drop today for the Army-Navy game. Army had theirs yesterday. Navy was going to drop theirs today. And they're badass. They are. And if you guys haven't seen them, go find them on the socials. But this Army-Navy game, coming up a week from Saturday in New York City, is basically the Army-Navy game tribute to 9/11. It's been 20 years since 9/11. And Army's uniforms are just freaking incredible. A salute to the Special Forces. Navy is going Fly Navy for these, and it's not the Blue Angels. They kind of do everything with the F-18, which I have flown in off of an aircraft carrier, the Theodore Roosevelt, which is badass. I mean, you talk about feeling your stomach come up to your throat and, all the fun that goes with that. But you look at those Fly Navy uniforms. Those are badass. It's going to cost me a fortune in getting that gear.
That is cool.
I think Pledge just saw him.
Yeah. The helmet, the Strike Force patch on them, like that is awesome.
I mean, I just love the look, the solid blue all the way through, the hand-painted F-18 on one side, and then that logo on the other. Lenora says, I'm bouncing in. Did you turn it off right when I was reading it, Pledge?
Sorry.
Lenora says, I was bouncing in my work seat with that intro song. See? I forget who the first part is, but I heard that song nonstop during a weekend in Nashville. And then the other part is Trombone Shorty, which I love, right? So we just kind of combined the two. It's not often I have country in any of my mix. But again, a weekend in Nashville, you'll hear that whiskey, beer, whatever song. I always want to call it Beer, Bait, and Ammo, which I know is Kevin Fowler, and I know it's not that song. People ask me all the time, what's that song you played at the beginning of the show? Dude, I can't tell you. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. I don't even know if the band has other songs. But I know if you go to Nashville, you will hear that from every band doing something in Nashville. And it's a pretty good, fun song with, say you're sitting somewhere like at the Roo Pub and you got to take over the music because somebody has done a poor job, so you've got to correct their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad one to play at a bar either, because it will get the bar going, that's for sure. I just can't remember who it is. Otherwise, I would tell you. But if it gets in your head, dude, it's going to be there forever. But I digress. So I see the uniforms today, and I realize I'm going to be in New York in a week and a half. Now, generally speaking, by this time, you're gearing up for the Army-Navy game. I've gone and purchased a lot of cold weather stuff because we've kind of hit some cold weather. So I've gotten that gear out. But outside of James Pledger, nobody is wearing a scarf and a heavy pea coat in San Antonio. I've got some half zips out. Yet we haven't needed a coat, maybe a light jacket. But I went to go check and make sure that I had my coat ready to go for next week, just to make sure I know where the thing is. Because, I have moved since the last time when we went to Army-Navy. I have moved since the last time I was anywhere cold. And I'm not sure where that stuff was. Fortunately, it was actually in the coat closet where you would expect it to be. Jonathan C. says somebody took over the jukebox and played Kesha. That was not me. I can promise you that wasn't me. That sounds like a James Pledger move.
Sounds like a Michael Jimenez move.
Or a Michael Jimenez. But did he really play Kesha? I went through a Kesha phase with my daughter once. And we actually saw her in concert. She was opening up, and then after she was done, she actually was kind of in the stands near where we were sitting. Wine, Beer, Whiskey by Little Big Town. Is that who it is? Is that what the name is? Wine, Beer, and Whiskey? Little Big Town? Well, I'm glad I didn't say the name because I thought it was Big Shoe or something like that. But Little Big Town, Big Shoe, it's all the same.
It's all the same.
It is all the same. But I'm glad I got my cold weather gear ready to go for New York. But I was a little surprised to see you wearing the pea coat today. Oh, Kesha. Jimenez plays Kesha?
Yeah.
All right. She had a couple of good songs back in the day.
She did. She had some bops.
She did. She did. But still, at the Roo Pub, you're playing Kesha? Jimenez? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. that actually doesn't surprise me. So let's see. We have our coaching carousel going on. We'll get into that. Lincoln Riley is a liar. I mean, dude, you took the job. Don't lie to me now. I mean, it's one thing when you're a head football coach lying while you're wearing the current team logo on your shirt at a press conference. I expect you to lie to me then, because until it's a done deal, it's not a done deal. And because of recruiting and everything else that goes along with it, you have to lie to us. You can avoid questions. Cliff Kingsbury did yesterday. I don't want to talk about it. Reporter, well, why won't you just say you're not interested in the Oklahoma job? Because we're in our season right now, I'm not interested, and I got a year left on my deal, and, I'm seeing $100 million going to college coaches right now on 10-year deals with massive buyouts. I'm only making 5 here in Arizona, and you guys have seen my house. So I could use a raise. I mean, that's the way coaches work. Jeff Traylor, when he was going through it at UTSA, I know he loves being here. He kept saying that. I love being here. I love being here. I love being here. But when the Brinks truck backs up to your house and offers you a ride, it's hard to say no. And you can love being here and take a job there because it's going to pay you more. I mean, I saw Lincoln Riley get off of a gold airplane. Now, I don't know if it was a gold-plated airplane, but it kind of felt that way. But don't lie to me after you took the job and say the hardest decision you had to make in your life, you did in the manner of hours after Oklahoma loses to Oklahoma State. So after the game, according to Lincoln Riley, after the game, he had his first ever conversation with USC about going to USC. And not only his first conversation with USC, but apparently his agent, nobody else. Nobody had talked about the thought of USC wasn't even there. Nah, I mean, it's Oklahoma. So you're telling me that you lose the game, you get a phone call. Hey, you want to coach USC? Yeah, call my agent. Agent called and said, hey, man, there's a whole lot of money here. Okay, let's do it. Let me sleep on it. Take a 2-hour nap, wake up, and somehow you're on a private plane. Your coaching staff is ready to go. The ones that you're taking from Norman, they all had their bags packed, ready to go, the nice clothes ready to go for the press conference. I mean, everybody got on the plane, looked like they were showered and ready to have the red carpet rolled out, right? I leave for New York in a week and a half, and I'm already making sure I have my coat. But you're going to make a decision in a couple of hours that you're going to call the toughest decision of your life? BS. Don't lie to me now, Lincoln Riley.
It's very hard.
I mean, seriously. Yeah, man, we've been talking about it. I didn't really want to go. But, when they offer you that kind of money, all of that, just don't lie. There's no point of lying. All this talk about LSU, you're telling me that, well, your name was rumored for the LSU job, that you weren't using that to help get more money out of USC, right? I mean, because clearly LSU's budget was around $95 million. That's what Kelly got. You ended up with $110 million, reportedly, for the USC job. You're telling me you didn't say, hey, I like L.A., man, but Baton Rouge is nice, and they're at 95. What else you got? Taxes in California are massive. All right, 110. What 110? We'll leaving it out. It's going to be hard to sell my house in Norman. Yeah, we'll pay you $500,000 over its value. Oh, you got 2 houses? Yeah, we'll pay for that one too. But you don't want to buy a house? Well, we got your house. You do all of that in a matter of hours?
You need travel?
And I need a private plane. I don't want to own the private plane because I don't want to be responsible for like gas and insurance. But I look at these guys and sit here and say, don't lie to me. I mean, at least Brian Kelly going to LSU. You can debate all you want whether it's a good move or a bad move for Brian Kelly. I don't think it's a bad move for him. I just don't know that he's going to be a 10-year coach there. I really don't. I think it's going to be hard for a lot of coaches in the SEC to survive the way Nick Saban has. Kirby Smart. I mean, there's going to be a time when Kirby Smart, after they win the national championship this year, 3-4 years down a little bit, you're gone. That's the way college athletics works right now, which is why I can't blame any of these coaches for doing what they're doing. It might piss me off. And I know Jeff Traylor just signed a 10-year deal with UTSA. I'd be shocked if he does half of that. And they can keep giving them 10-year deals on top of 10-year deals. They're worthless. I mean, clearly there is a printer that prints nothing but money for college athletics. And it's only going to continue to print more. Now you've got the NIL, which is going to help recruiting. That's going to print more money. You've got the super conferences that are coming, the expanded playoffs. And so you look at the expanded playoffs, and Lincoln Riley says, man, I could live in L.A. I could rebuild the USC brand, and I've got an easier path to the college football playoff, which, by the way, I'm going to guess that his contract has all kinds of big-time bonuses for making the playoffs. I don't blame him. And all you people that want to call him chicken bleep for taking the left, dude, he's smart. Kelly, as an independent at Notre Dame, and they might be a playoff team this year. How many times have we heard his days there are numbered? I don't blame him for jumping when he did. I don't necessarily like how he did it, but what's the right way to do it? You don't have a whole lot of time to make those decisions, but you do get more than an overnight nap, Lincoln Riley. Your agents have been working it. You've been working on details. You make a decision before the contract gets too deep that you're going if you get to the right number. And that's what happened. USC got Lincoln Riley. LSU said, hold my beer. We're going to go get Kelly. And then he sends everybody a note through the team app. And I remember being a part of the Commanders. We had that team app thing. That sucks, man. It's got a weird sound effect on it, so you know the coach has sent you something. So you want me, I'm a college kid. It's finals time. You want a 7 a.m. meeting to say I'm out? I wonder how many missed their alarms this morning. I wonder how many showed up. I love you, Limitless. But did you see the money they offered me at LSU? And I get to recruit kids that don't qualify, that academically couldn't get into Notre Dame? Hell yeah, I think he's going to do fine there. He's going to be fine there. If 3-4 years, we'll know. Jimbo, you're going to have to work harder. Whoever's ended up in Austin, whether it's Sark or whoever, I mean, clearly, for all of you that wanted Sark to be fired after 1 year, this is not the year to be looking for a new head coach if you're the Texas Longhorns, because there's a lot of big-time jobs open. I just know that I never want to hear a coach bitch about the transfer portal again. Oh, I'm going back to Lincoln Riley. Who doesn't think that's fair? You know, a couple of weeks ago when Gary Patterson got fired, he talked Lincoln Riley, same guy that just left his team for USC overnight. You know, so for all you OU fans, just another kick in the nuts for you. You know, he's talking about how it's just not right that coaches would leave in the middle of the season, how you don't finish the season, how you can get fired, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And then the transfer portal. You know, there should be kind of like a signing period. You know, the transfer portal shouldn't be open 365. And you know what? I agree with that. I do agree with that. There needs to be a period where the transfer portal just opens up. Because although that would take away a job from somebody on every staff whose day consists of checking the transfer portal constantly just to see who's entered their name. It's just college football is just the wild, wild west. And it's just going to get crazier. Tonight, when they announce the college football playoff rankings, where do you think Notre Dame ends up? I mean, Notre Dame has a chance to get in this year. Right? Could you imagine if Notre Dame were to make the playoffs without a coach? How bizarre would that be? And would Kelly get a ring? I don't know. It's just bizarre. Love what's going on. I love the chaos of college football. And it's easy to love the chaos of college football when your team isn't even going bowling. I got lots of teams. Some are going bowling, some aren't. Some are in the playoffs. Lincoln Riley, and I think he'll do fantastic at USC. He's going to own the Pac-12. He is going to dominate. Part of me that doesn't like USC hates that. But I think the Pac-12 and college football is better when USC is relevant. I mean, Lincoln Riley might even get Reggie Bush's Heisman back. I mean, he's that talented. He could get that done. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Short week for the Dallas Cowboys, although it feels like a short week. Short work week for us. They're on a full week since they played last Thursday. But the Cowboys do play Thursday night against the New Orleans Saints. The Blitz, we are going to be live out at R&J Saloon on South Flores. Come out and see us from 4 to 7. We're going to be there with Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And if you like free stuff, you want to be at R&J Saloon on Thursday. And I would highly suggest you get there early. Because not only will they have the Miller Lite Cowboy stuff that we like to give away at these Miller Lite Cowboy watch parties. You know, the OtterBox coolers and the cool stuff like that. But it's Miller Lite Ugly Christmas sweater time. Now, if just go to the Miller Lite Facebook page and you'll see a lot of the gear that they have. It's hard to call some of this ugly sweater, but they have a lot of cool stuff. And through the years when we've been given some of the Miller Lite gear, the ugly sweater stuff, whether it's the scarf or the slippers, they got a short sleeve Yaya Bear looking shirt. That looks fantastic. Not an ugly sweater. It looks like a Tommy Bahama shirt. Looks fantastic. But we've got a lot of that to give away. So it's also kind of like the Miller Lite holiday party. We're mixing the two at R&J Saloon on Thursday night. But I was talking with the great people there at Miller Lite earlier today. And I did not realize this until today. But we're not only giving away this year's Miller Lite ugly sweater Christmas stuff. We've got last year's to give away because last year's never happened because of COVID. But everything got ordered, and it's there. It's available. So I don't know. We might give away 100 prizes. And because of that, we're doing prize wheel as opposed to drawing names. So if you want Miller Lite Cowboy stuff, if you want Miller Lite ugly sweater Christmas stuff, make sure you're at R&J Saloon on Thursday. We start at 4. I highly suggest getting there early. We will take you on the Blitz all the way up to kickoff. It is going to be incredible. We got so much good stuff. All the Miller Lite ugly sweater, all those different items. I saw slippers. I've seen the sweaters, the hats online. They've got a dog sweater. I don't know if they'll have that out there, but we'll have all the cowboy gear. Make sure you're out there. Pledge, I don't understand your hand signals there on the video.
Oh, I was just saying, along with the Miller Lite stuff on Thursday, we've got a ton to give away today here on the Blitz.
Oh, we do?
Oh, yeah.
All right. What do we have to give away?
Well, we've got, as like we had yesterday, tickets to go see Trans-Siberian Orchestra, December 10th, Friday at the AT&T Center. Also, this Saturday at the Aztec, we got tickets to go see Sammy Hagar.
I already took those. We don't have those.
Like all week's worth?
I got friends.
Okay. Sorry.
We'll give away some Sammy Hagar tickets. I'm kidding. I didn't know Sammy Hagar was playing Saturday night at the Aztec.
Yep. And we've got...
And... But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. Do you like the Eagles, Jason?
I do like the Eagles.
The Eagles are coming to the new...
The Eagles.
Yeah.
Not the football team. There's a difference.
The band, the Eagles, is coming for their Hotel California tour in Austin at the new Moody Center next May.
You know, that's incredible because I remember going to the Hell Freezes Over tour. I went to it in Austin and San Antonio because, they said that was their farewell tour. And then they had their second farewell tour. And now they've got Deacon Fry as the lead singer along with Vince Gill, and they're on tour again. I'm just glad they're not calling this a farewell tour. But we do have Eagles tickets that we are giving away today. Sammy Hagar tickets to give away. Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets to give away today. Again, Thursday at R&J Saloon. And that will get you ready for the Cowboys game against the New Orleans Saints. Now, a couple of things that Jerry Jones said today on 105.3 The Fan that I do find interesting because, Dr. Jerry Jones, good, bad, indifferent, does sometimes tell you things differently than Mike McCarthy or some of the other coaches. So apparently, Amari Cooper is testing negative for COVID, but he still has some symptoms like a cough. Now, this time of year, that could be allergies. It could be whatever. But he's back in the building because the COVID testing is negative. So he's cleared all those hurdles for the unvaccinated types that allow him back in the building. Now, Mike McCarthy said if he doesn't practice, he won't play. Boss man says he expects Cooper back.
With the addition of Cooper coming back and certainly having CD back, that's going to give us more chances, more opportunities down the field. It should be that way, and in doing so, that'll help your running game out. In addition to that, we've got Tyron Smith back for his second game since his extended layoff, and that's gonna help us out a lot. We've switched some guys position-wise in the offensive line there over the last month. They're continued getting used to that, working with each other. That's one of the most coordinated areas there is in your offensive line, helping each other adjust with your blocks, just literally getting used to joining the blocks together. Double teams is the best way to describe it. So I think overall, just from the standpoint of working together that we've got a better chance to play offense.
And again, play offense better than what they have been playing, which has been kind of rough without Amari Cooper and without CeeDee Lamb. The one question, though, is what about Zeke? Because Zeke does look like he's running on one leg. We know that he's been dealing with a knee injury. There's been some talk up in Dallas. Do you set him down and make this a Tony Pollard game? Jerry Jones, he ain't having that. He's paying Zeke too much money to set him down.
Yeah, he's practicing well, and we think he'll be ready to go. And no reason. I understand you're asking, but the facts are that we expect him to have a serious load against New Orleans.
A serious load. What do you have? 9-10 carries last week? Same as Pollard? Not good. Not good at all for the Dallas Cowboys when you look at it like that. I don't know what to do with Zeke. I like Tony Pollard. If you're in the camp that thinks Tony Pollard is a better running back than Zeke, I put you in the idiot camp. Tony Pollard is a great complimentary back. I don't know that Tony Pollard is an every down back. For a game, sure. For 5-6 games in a row, no. And they run different plays. The offense does look different when Tony Pollard is in there. What I do want to see is Pollard and Zeke in the backfield together. We've seen that some, but not enough, because the defense isn't sure where it's going to go. You could hand it to Zeke up the middle. You could pitch it to Tony Pollard on the outside. You could hand it to Zeke, who can then pitch it to Tony Pollard. I mean, we've seen all kinds of stuff with them in the backfield, but they're not in the backfield enough together, because the offensive line issues has said, man, we got to have a tight end in here. We might need 2 tight ends in here to help with the blocking. But if I see Zeke looking like he's running on one leg, I don't know if he's really helping you that he's out there. Short yardage situations, maybe. We will see. Cowboys, Saints, Thursday night. Going to be a fun game down in New Orleans. Again, you can watch it with us down at R&J Saloon. We're going to be down there with Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, having a big watch party and giving away all kinds of stuff. The San Antonio Spurs got a big win last night. Their second in a row. Derek White, did he finally find his confidence? We will talk about that as we continue here on the Blitz. Of course, we want to talk with you as well on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. You can call us at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. You can tweet at James Pledger. He is on Twitter at I Am Pledger. We'll talk some more Cowboys at 5:30. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you understand what all those conditions are before you accept it. Your best option is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. For stress-free bail bonds, it's AA Best Bail Bonds, license number 149. Call 210-225-2121 or go online, mybestbailbonds.com. Back-to-back wins for the Spurs. We're talking about it next after SportsCenter with James Pledger.
Thanks a lot, Jason. We'll start Major League Baseball, where the Astros and free agent shortstop Carlos Correa are still talking, even though he's exploring other offers. This, according to The Athletic. While the Rangers have revamped their infield with the signings of Marcus Semien and Corey Seager over the past few days, the New York Yankees have contacted Texas about possibly trading for Gold Glove shortstop Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. In college football, Texas A&M Aggies and head coach Jimbo Fisher continue to tear it up on the recruiting trail as they've received a commitment from 2022 five-star wide receiver Evan Stewart, who chose the Aggies over Alabama, LSU, and Texas. The 6', 175-pound receiver is the number one wideout in his class and the third-ranked player in the country by 24/7 Sports. In the NBA, the Spurs are on a win streak as they beat the Washington Wizards 116-99 as Derek White led the way with 24 points, while DeJounte Murray added 22 to go along with 10 boards and 8 assists. In college hoops, UTSA improved to 5-3 with a 75-65 win over St. Mary's. 8th-ranked Texas beat Sam Houston State 73-57. And tonight, the 6-1 Texas A&M Aggies welcome the New Orleans Privateers into College Station with tip-off from Reed Arena set for 6. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
From city streets to back roads, from road warrior to carpooler, there are some things you can always count on, like the reliability, durability, and power of DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on DieHard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
1911 Cigars in Cibolo is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas and a must-stop for holiday shopping. Get your stocking stuffers at 1911 Cigars, like cutters, pliers, 5 packs of cigars, and 1911 gear, shirts, hats, whiskey glasses, coasters, and more. 1911 Cigars also offers gift cards, memberships, and lockers. Make your holiday shopping easy and go buy 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
Thomas J. Henry has been featured in Forbes magazine, Fortune magazine, and Bloomberg Business Week for securing record-breaking results for clients injured in accidents. For more info or to start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com. San Antonio, Texas.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
This flu season update is sponsored by Exergen. Do you have the flu? Here's CBS News medical contributor, Dr. David Agus.
The flu classically doesn't have GI symptoms to start and respiratory symptoms. It can, but it doesn't. But they can imitate each other. So the flu classically starts with fever and chills. And then if you have it for more than 3 days, you need to go to your doctor.
The leading sign of COVID is a fever. So everyone needs an accurate thermometer. Try the Exergen temporal scanner and learn more at Exergen.com.
'Tis the season for savings at Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. Save on 3M Window Tint, 100% legal to get your car dark, dark, dark. This is Texas, baby. 'Tis the season for dark window tint. We do tint front windshields. Yes, 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 we do. And it's perfectly legal, too. At Mother's Window Tint, 'tis the season to make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother thump. Save on car stereos, amplifiers, and speakers. Save on car alarms. Save on remote starters. Stores in Austin and San Antonio. And on the web at motherswindowtint.com. Are you a people person and like cars? Maybe you can join our team. Contact us by Facebook or on our website, motherswindowtint.com. 'Tis the season to remember. Do it at Mothers and save.
Want to make this the most unforgettable Christmas? Diamonds Direct is here to help with our most dazzling selection ever and 4 years zero-interest financing. Imagine the look in her eyes opening that box and seeing an elegant diamond tennis bracelet or a stunning pair of diamond earrings. Diamonds Direct showcases are fully stocked with the classics, as well as the latest trendy fashion jewelry from world-class designers. Unique, one-of-a-kind items you can't find anywhere else. And if you need help, our experts will guide you, respecting your price range and offering tips on the can't-miss gifts for this season. You'll get the unbeatable value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Plus, spread your payments over 4 years, 48 whole months with zero interest. This December, give the gift that sends the message of love like nothing else. A beautiful, meaningful, and memorable piece of jewelry from Diamonds Direct. Get holiday store hours, directions, finance details, and see our online gift guide at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Hey, Dallas Cowboy fans, Jason Minix here, letting you know Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, and San Antonio Sports Star, we're throwing a viewing party for the Cowboys-Saints game this Thursday out at R&J Saloon. We'll start with a live broadcast of the Blitz from 4 to 7, then stick around and watch the Cowboys take on the Saints. Enjoy $2 Miller Lite long necks during the game and register to win some great Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys gear and other great holiday stuff. That's this Thursday, 4 to 7 at R&J Saloon on South Flores.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Home of the jolliest bunch of this side of the nut house. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. Get us on Twitter at Jason Minix. Pledge is at I Am Pleasure. You can always call us on the Kia Boston Bacon phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I see Tiger Woods on the TV now. He's doing a little bit of media. We'll talk about Tiger coming up. Without setting the record for most majors, in your mind, is Tiger the greatest golfer ever? Can he be your GOAT without having as many trophies in the case? Because for my money, he is. Even though he doesn't have the 18. And even without the car wreck, I don't know that he would have surpassed him. But is it always all about the number of majors? How many trophies are in the case? Does that always keep him at number 2 in your mind? We'll talk some Tiger coming up here in a bit. Let's talk some Spurs right now. They are on a winning streak. For the first time this season, the San Antonio Spurs have won back-to-back games. And they looked good doing it. They looked really good last night. Well, at least in the second half, they looked really good. Derek White had a phenomenal second half last night. And one of the great things about Derek, and he even said it last night on the post-game show there on Bally Sports, it was just good for him to see shots going in.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see some go in. I feel like I had good looks. I just was missing them. So just try to stay in it. And, I mean, I got 2 wide open looks to start and just got it going from there. So shout out to my teammates for getting me good looks there.
And that's kind of what it is. And again, you know, in the first half, he was, 2 of 10, 3 of 10? He's taking the shots. He just needs to go. And Pop has been talking about Derek White a lot lately, about him getting his confidence back. You go back to last year with injuries and COVID, he hasn't really been the same. Pop last night after the game said that he is finally regaining that confidence.
Yeah, he's with those injuries, it really wrecked his confidence. He had to sit around for a long time when he came back. He just, had no rhythm, wasn't really confident. But you can see it's coming back. He's starting and stopping and spinning and doing the things he used to do, playing a really good game.
And that's what we need from Derek White. Now, I know there's some of you out there that don't want the Spurs to win. I'm not on Team Tank. Michael Jimenez is on Team Tank. James Pledger is on Team Tank. James Pledger lives on Team Tank. Whether you're talking about our Spurs or his Rockets or his Texans, Pledge just likes losers. I mean, look at who he hangs out with at the bar. I mean, it's there. No offense to Murph. But when you look at it, I kid. When it comes to your teams, though, it's been a long time since you actually rooted for a winner. Longhorns, all of them. I mean,
Rockets were good for a long time. The Texans, I at least cheered for up until this past season when Deshaun decided he wanted out at the end of the year.
I'm with you. But again, though, I mean, I'm not on Team Tank because it's too early. It's too early. I want to see the silver and black linings. I want to see this team getting better. And this is actually what we've been talking about here on the Blitz, which is very different than what you might hear from noon to 2 on halftime with Michael Jimenez. Goals for the team. And you look at what they did the other night against Boston. They blow a 24-point lead, yet managed to win the game. They close on a good run. Learning how to win is part of the process. And that is what we're seeing from the San Antonio Spurs. Last night, against a good defensive Wizards team, Pop impressed overall with the W and the way the team got it.
We played a lot of guys, and I thought we had a good number of people play well, which it takes to play a good team. Like I think they're third in the East. Coach Unsel's done a great job putting guys together, a lot of new guys, and they're executing well. They play hard. So we're thrilled with the victory and happy that so many people were able to participate. It's great having Jakob back because he does so many good things. But Thaddeus was fantastic tonight in his minutes on the court. But Derek is back to being Derek White that we all remember, and that's been a big plus for us. So there are a lot of good things out on the court. DJ is continuing to do what he's done the whole season, playing fantastically. So we're thrilled with it.
Yeah, and you should be thrilled with it if you're a Spurs fan and if you're Greg Popovich. I mean, that one answer in his postgame last night, that one answer, you just heard it. That one answer is 56 seconds long. Pre-game, his entire pre-game media session was about 45 seconds yesterday. Imagine how good things are after a win versus going into it. And we got a Josh Primo sighting. And Josh Primo, I don't want to say he was guarding Beal last night. I think Beal was looking for Primo to take advantage of the young kid. And Pop said, man, what a great learning experience.
Well, all those are educations. Just like when Tony was first here and he had to guard all these guys at the point. Throwing Joshua out there on Bradley is a tough cover, but I'm sure he learned a lot.
I'm sure he did learn a lot. And again, Primo does what Primo does.
As we've seen in the past, confident. He's not impressed with anything. He just goes out and plays. He's pretty fundamentally sound, and he's got a good aggressiveness for somebody so young.
And one thing that I'm trying to figure out from Greg Popovich, all the Spurs stuff that they release to the media says Josh Primo. Pop calls him Joshua. In fact, even corrected some reporters last night when he was asked about Josh Primo. He was like, who's that? Oh, you mean Joshua? Do we call him Joshua or do we call him Josh? I call him an Austin Spur today. He's on his way back up I-35. But I'll tell you what, I like the way the San Antonio Spurs are handling Joshua Primo right now. Get him some minutes at the NBA level, send him back up to Austin. Keep working. I would much rather him get 30, 35 minutes in an Austin Spurs game on a regular basis than 10 to 12 with the San Antonio Spurs. I like the 10 to 12 that he's getting. But as his game develops, the more time in Austin he spends with appearances with the big club, I think is the way to handle Joshua Primo. I like what they're doing there. I really like what they're doing there. Tiger talks. Is Tiger the greatest of all time, even if he never passes to become the all-time winningest major winner? If he never wins another tournament, is Tiger Woods the greatest golfer of all time? Or is it all about trophy count? In your mind, where do you put Tiger Woods? We had a Tiger sighting, and Tiger basically said, I'm not going to be the same guy. I've accepted it. You accept it. But in your mind, is he the greatest? Second greatest? Third greatest? Where do you put Tiger Woods? What'd you think of what he had to say? 656 ESPN, 888-866-3776. Guy's been dealing with a ton of injuries after that car accident. Man, I can only imagine everything that he's gone through. I mean, he literally said he thought he might lose his leg. There was conversations about, do we just cut the thing off and send you home? He's battled back, 2 legs and all. You know, injuries happen. Not that you want to go through what Tiger's going through, but if you're dealing with any kind of injury, a twist, pull, pop, snap, you need TSAOG Orthopedics. Start with Dr. David Espinosa, who treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There's no reason for you to be in pain. If you're hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Call for an appointment, 210-804-5490, 804-5490, or go to the website, tsaog.com.
There's no other game like college football. The tight end rolls to the end zone. And no one covers it better. It's game day every day for us. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, San Antonio Sports Star is taking the halftime on the road to Twin Peaks this Thursday. Join me and Michael Jimenez, and we'll be covering all the things you need to know for football, prepping for the Cowboys-Saints game. Win some San Antonio Sports Star swag and other cool prizes just by stopping by. That's this Thursday, noon to 2 at Twin Peaks North location at 410 in San Pedro. The Sports Star, ESPN SA, will be on site noon to 2. Come grab some lunch. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From city streets to back roads, from road warrior to carpooler, there are some things you can always count on, like the reliability, durability, and power of DieHard, America's most trusted auto battery. No matter where your journey takes you, count on DieHard to get you started on the road ahead. Available at your local Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest stores.
If your definition of free time means arguing with your spouse, you might want to pick a new hobby. Call DivorceDude.com at 210-201-0303 and ask for Mark, the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. DivorceDude.com can help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude can fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. If the marriage is over, why fight? DivorceDude.com.
A 17-week season and only one couch. Let's hope it holds up. The Cowboys are back. The explosive action happens here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Carl Schoening, and you're listening to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Tiger Woods last night did a interview with, who was that? Somebody from Golf Digest?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly he knows her well, very comfortable conversation. Then he had a press conference today. Couple of thoughts on Tiger. And I thought it was very interesting that Tiger Woods in the press conference today just would not talk about the accident. Shut it all down. Said it's all in the police report, although it's not, and the police haven't been overly forthcoming with information. I don't know what's going on there. No idea. Not insinuating anything. But when I listen to Tiger Woods, and having followed his career as we all have, Tiger Woods is so driven to be the best, to be considered the best. Had very clear-cut goals that were his father's. And that was win more majors than anybody else. Leave no doubt who is the greatest. And that's why you saw him battle back and battle back and battle back from surgery after surgery after surgery. 5 back surgeries, 5 knee surgeries. And for him to come back and win the way he did at his age, it felt like it was a no-brainer that he was going to get not only the record, but could he get up to 20 majors over the course of time? You know, if you want a major every other year, just one of them, the way golf is, you could do that. Look at what Phil is doing at 50, right? You look at that and you say that it's there. The car accident has taken that away from Tiger. The car accident has given Tiger a reason to not achieve what the goal is. And it probably takes the burden off of Tiger because he can't control this. You've got a knee injury, you got a back surgery, you rehab it, and you get back to being Tiger Woods at the level you expect Tiger Woods to be at. This car accident, Tiger knows he will not be the same guy. And he seems very comfortable with that fact in dealing with that reality. The car accident, in some ways, may have saved Tiger from Tiger because he won't be the same guy. He knows he won't be the same guy. Hell, they had discussions about taking his leg. When he talked about that, you know, if things didn't go a certain way, we might have to amputate your leg. And we've seen a lot of careers, a lot of athletic careers, great ones, cut short because of injury, one way or another. I think about Senor Sack. I mean, that guy from San Antonio, what he did at Texas Tech and what he was expected to do in the NFL, car accident, rookie year, wheelchair the rest of his life. I mean, we've seen other great athletes have their goals cut short because of injuries or accidents. But Tiger seemed a little too at peace with where he is right now. And I say that, that's a good place for him to be. He's not beating himself up over, I know I won't be able to do it, but I'm going to give it my damnedest. Tiger's still going to do things. He's still going to compete. But he knows he won't be able to compete at the standard Tiger has for himself.
Once I started building, I realized that after Tampa that I could win. Okay, and then I proved to myself that I could take the lead in the British Open. Okay, well, I could close, even though I did not win, I closed pretty good at the PGA at Belle Reve. And then 19, I won the Masters. Okay, well, I don't see that type of trend going forward for me. I won't have the opportunity to practice given the condition of my leg and build up. I just don't. So I mean, it's going to have to be a different way of doing it. And that's okay. And I'm at peace with that. I've made the climb enough times.
He's made the climb. He knows he doesn't have a minimum to make that climb again. That is what he said this morning in his press conference. Compare that to basically what he was talking about last night during that one-on-one interview with Golf Digest, where, you know, he talks about he still wants to play. He still wants golf to be a major part of his life, but it isn't going to be the same. As a fan, you can't expect it. And as a player, he can't expect it.
I don't have to compete and play against the best players in the world to have a great life. I know that after my back fusion, I had for me, I had to prove it to myself. I had to climb Mount Everest one more time. I had to do it. And I did it. This time around, I don't think I'll have the body to climb Mount Everest, and that's okay. But I can't participate in the game of golf. I can still, maybe if my leg gets good enough, maybe kick off a tournament here or there. But as far as climbing the mountain, get all the way to the top, I don't think that's a realistic expectation of me. But I think something that is realistic is playing the tour one day, never full-time ever again. Pick and choose, just like what Mr. Hogan did. You pick and choose a few events a year, and you play around that. You practice around it, and try and gear yourself up for that, and you play it. I think that's kind of how I'm going to have to play it from now on. It's an unfortunate reality, but it's my reality, and I understand it and I accept it.
And I look at Tiger and I think about Ben Hogan, who had that car accident, and he won majors afterwards. Tiger's not. His body has already been through so much. And thinking about what we have seen from Tiger in the past, I did not expect those kind of answers from Tiger Woods, because he is so driven to compete and win. It's not good enough for Tiger to be second. It's not good enough for Tiger to make it to the weekend. For Tiger, it is about winning. And to hear that from him, you take that self-induced pressure that he puts on himself. The car accident has taken that burden away from him, and he's accepted that, at least for now. We'll see if that changes as, he gets his new bionic leg and he is able to get out there and start competing. And if he's playing well, how much better can he play? The one thing I took from Tiger's interview with the Golf Digest lady, it would suck to be his son. Playing golf, listening to some of the things that, we all hear about. We know what Tiger's dad was like. Tiger is exactly the same way. He was telling a story about his kid was getting mad, and he was getting mad at his kid. Don't let one shot turn into one bad shot, go to the next one and be bad. It would be tough to be Tiger's kid. I'm just saying, especially as a golfer. That cannot be easy for his son. But it was good to see Tiger Woods, and I'm glad that he wants to be a part of golf, because he could have done a lot of things, like I just want to disappear and never be seen from again. Hearing his personality, kind of like Tom Brady from New England to Tampa Bay, maybe Tiger starts doing stuff with television commentary. Although, make a whole lot of players nervous to have Tiger critiquing your shots on live television. But he's, in my mind, still the greatest golfer, even though he's not going to have the same number of trophies. His impact on the game, everything that he has done, in my mind, he's the greatest golfer. It's not always about the most trophies, the bigger impact and the trophies. And we will all say, without the injuries, how many would he have won? Without the car accident, what would he have been able to do? He kind of becomes the biggest what if in sports. What if injuries didn't rob him of some of his greatness through the years? What if this car accident didn't rob him of a solid 10 years of golf for Tiger Woods? In my mind, he's still the greatest golfer. And that's no offense to all those others. I look at the competition and the way things are now. Wow. But it was good to see Tiger Woods. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us at 5:30 to talk about some Dallas Cowboys news, and they got a lot going on there at the Star. Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio, he will join us next. He's got a new neighbor there in L.A. His name is Lincoln Riley. We'll get Doug's thoughts on that as well. Speaking of golf clubs and Tiger Woods, seeing his little indoor range, I can only imagine all the golf stuff at Tiger's place. If you're like us, the rest of us, you got your garage, your golf clubs, your gear is in there. You try to put the cars in there, the bikes, all the other stuff. You need to organize your garage. You need to call Garageanization. 210-664-4494 is the number. Now, you think about what Garageanization offers. They offer you a organization solution for your garage. Call them. Talk to them about shelves, overhead racks, closed storage, slat walls. You can make your garage functional for the entire family. Imagine being able to park both your cars in there and have all the stuff that you keep in your garage organized on shelves to where everything is just nice and easy and convenient. That is what Garageization does. They're a great local veteran-owned company that's been helping San Antonians love their garage since 2008. Call them. Have them give a customized plan for your garage. You can call them or go to the website, garageorganizationsanantonio.com. That's garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
Their games. And there are games. Welcome to a whole new season of the NBA, right here on ESPN Radio. Get the latest news, moves, analysis, and more. The NBA plays here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
There's no gift that's more beautiful, more versatile, and more meaningful than a beautiful piece of jewelry. And there's no better place to shop than Diamonds Direct, where making memorable moments is our specialty. This holiday season, we've put together our most impressive selection of can't-miss gifts. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands for every taste and every price range. And to make it easier to splurge this season, we're offering 4 years, zero-interest financing on any holiday purchase. So that $5,000 Eternity Band is just over $100 a month. And that $10,000 designer diamond ring, just around $200 a month. With this special offer, everything's affordable. So come to Diamonds Direct. Let our experts help you choose that perfect headliner gift for this holiday season. Get holiday store hours, directions, finance details, and see our online gift guide at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
'Tis the season for savings at Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. Save on 3M Window Tint, 100% legal to get your car dark, dark, dark. This is Texas, baby. 'Tis the season for dark window tint. We do tint front windshields. Yes, 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 we do. And it's perfectly legal, too. At Mother's Window Tint, 'tis the season to make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother thump. Save on car stereos, amplifiers, and speakers. Save on car alarms. Save on remote starters. Stores in Austin and San Antonio. And on the web at motherswindowtint.com. Are you a people person and like cars? Maybe you can join our team. Contact us by Facebook or on our website, motherswindowtint.com. 'Tis the season to remember. Do it at Mothers and save.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, the Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on a Tuesday afternoon. Lots to go over until 7 o'clock tonight. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us at 5:30. We'll get the latest on the Cowboys. Cowboys and Saints on Thursday night. Join us Thursday night at an R&J Saloon down on South Flores. We're going to be out there with Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, having a huge watch party. We'll start getting you ready with the Blitz from 4 to 7. We'll take you right up to kickoff, probably 7:20. And not only will Miller Lite have a ton of their Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys gear to give away, they also have the Miller Lite Ugly Christmas sweater stuff that they are going to give away. That is evolved from just ugly sweaters. There's all kinds of Miller Lite holiday stuff. So it's the Miller Lite Cowboy Watch Party / Miller Lite Holiday Party. And not only do they have this year's Miller Lite ugly sweater gear, they've got last year's too. Remember, last year never happened with the holiday party because COVID. So we got last year. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to give away on Thursday out at R&J Saloon down on South Florida Street, starting with the Blitz at 4 o'clock, 4 to 7. Come early, hang out, enjoy. It's a great spot. And, of course, Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, they always bring a lot of great prizes, and we will give away all kinds of stuff on Thursday as we get ready for the Cowboys and Saints game. It is the Blitz. Let's talk now with Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio. Doug, man, there is a lot to talk about today. Let's talk about your new neighbor, Lincoln Riley. We'll start there with the new USC head coach.
I mean, look, I think it's a little bit like what Carson Palmer said about a month ago. A month ago, Carson said, he threw out Mike Tomlin. And the idea was get somebody who's, he's got a great job. He likes what he does, but maybe he'd like to try something else. And I think any athletic director who's got a big time job, you have your wish list and you go like, hey, well, why don't we ask this guy? Well, he won't take it. Well, we don't know unless he says no. You got to pick up the phone and call these people. Now, I think they called Lincoln before and he wasn't, or they called his agent before and he wasn't really that into it. But, when Mel Tucker signed a new deal for $95 million, that changed the calculus for everybody. And now we're talking about $100 million. That's the ultimate F the money. And I think when USC saw that Lincoln was at least thinking about LSU, they're like, well, we're going to job at LSU. Let's give him a call. But it's a big one. And he'd been recruiting well in California before. So if they build a fence around Southern California, they'll be fine. They'll be just fine.
When you think about what Lincoln Riley can do at USC, and again, he's recruited California well, the West Coast well, he recruits Texas well. If he's able to rebuild USC, and I'm not a USC fan, but college football is better when USC is relevant. If he can get that and get them into the playoffs, which will expand, it's an easier route than if he were in the SEC with Oklahoma. What does that do for Lincoln Riley and USC?
Oh, it's huge. And that's what he's been brought in to do. And I think they can, I think there's a lot made of it's just this easy road. No, it's not.
No.
Every team in your league is hard, and by the way, they play Notre Dame every year. That's as difficult or more difficult a non-conference game than anybody's going to play. In a couple of years, they play LSU as well. They usually play a very difficult out-of-conference schedule. They play one more conference game as well. I mean, it's not easy. But I do think that where it's easier is in recruiting, because if you're in Oklahoma, you want to get players, you got to go to Texas, right? Mm-hmm. So what's your sale? Your sale is we put, 2 number 1 overall picks in the draft. We have first-round draft picks at wide receiver. We got draft picks all over. And we're always in the college football playoff. We're one of the best teams in the country. We're on the big game of the week for the Big 12. Now you're in the SEC, and you're still going to be on TV, but you're not the first, second, or even third choice to be, kind of game of the week on television. Additionally, what recruiting advantage do you have in the state of Texas over Texas A&M, or where they actually play in the state of Texas, or LSU or Arkansas or any of these other programs? You don't have one because they all play in Texas too, and they're all in the SEC too. So I think they kind of had a muted advantage, whereas USC has a gigantic advantage out on the West Coast.
Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio joining us here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. The domino effect is now Brian Kelly is leaving Notre Dame and going to LSU. And I what I find interesting, Doug, is so many people that disagree whether this is a good move or a bad move for Brian Kelly. Which is the better job, Notre Dame or LSU?
Well, I think Notre Dame probably pays $3 or maybe more $1 million per year more, plus his staff will be much more better compensated. And it's much easier to get kids in school. It's easier to keep kids in school. So I think for all those reasons, LSU's a more pressure-filled job. But remember, he's 60 years old. Okay, he took Cincinnati to the BCS game. He took Notre Dame to the playoff a couple years. They might get in the playoff this year. And, you take one last shot at it. You have one last run. You win a national championship or you get close, and then, then you count your money. So I think Notre Dame is a more prestigious job, but LSU is probably a better job in terms of trying to win a championship quicker.
I agree with that there. Now we got to figure out who's going to.
People don't realize is Notre Dame's schedule is on paper more difficult than it's been, right, with the ACC schools. But they just so happen to, look at the last 4 years, what's coincided with Notre Dame playing these ACC schools. The ACC has sucked. They play Virginia Tech stinks. Play Florida State stinks. And so while their schedule, and USC has been down the last 4 or 5 years. So while their schedule historically looks like an incredible schedule, reality is it's been very soft. And that's one of the reasons they've had to win so many games.
Very true. Doug Gottlieb joining us here on the Blitz. Now, the domino effect is who's going to be the next coach at Notre Dame, who's going to be the next coach at Oklahoma. And then when those vacancies come open, there's going to be so much there. The players are saying, dude, you guys all complain about the portal, but the coaches are doing this. You're a former college athlete, Doug. How many do you actually think go to a school or go to a coach?
Both. Coach is incredibly important. School is incredibly important. But you get these people in the media and fans that are like, oh, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. Not the same thing. If a player wants to pay a $5 million buyout to go to another school, or a school wants to pay a $5 million buyout, go for it. When a coach leaves, okay, he's moving his family. He's moving every family on that coaching staff is likely to move. Right? It's a dramatic change. The coach is responsible for everybody in that program. Trainers, administration, everybody. Something goes wrong, it's on the coach. It's not the same. The player doesn't change all that much of anything. And, players now, there's no punishment. There's no payback. There's no buyout. There's no nothing. You want to leave, you just leave, and you can play right away. It's crazy. So it's not the same. It's actually, they waited till their season was over, and then they took a job. And if you want to change the timing of when these jobs happen, okay, the only thing you have to do is you can't have no early enrollees, and you have the signing date in February. That's it. Do that, you're fine. But they won't, because you want early enrollees, and you have a signing date that starts December 15th. You can't wait till after the college football playoff or after the bowl game. Then your head coach, you lost a recruiting class. No chance. So meaning not you and me, Jason, but our brethren in the media, we do a terrible job of painting this picture of these guys are awful. Brian, I legitimately believe their agents talk to the administrators, and then the day their season's over, the next morning they wake up, they got a phone call, and the guy says, listen, we're going to pay you $100 million over 10 years. Okay. We'll go through some of the details, but basically you got till end of business today to figure out if you want to take it or not. And maybe they don't have that long, and what would you do? I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I'd like to think that if I was at my alma mater and I'd been there for a decade, I'm good. I really believe that I got the Oklahoma State job. I don't need to be making $3 or $4 million in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I don't. I'd like to figure out ways in which I could have a life insurance policy that I could make money on, and I could make sure my assistants. But if you're making $1 million in Stillwater, $1.5 million, you're good. So I don't understand. But one of the reasons that these guys get these gigantic salaries is not because they need the gigantic salaries. It makes them the money to buy them out is so big that if they have a bad year, you can't buy them out. That's what it is. That's why they command so much money. It actually doesn't have that much to do with the actual money. It has to do with if I have a bad year, or if an administrator gets pissed, or the president leaves, or the AD gets fired, that I'm unfireable because of the money that's owed to me. That's why they do it. And we never tell those stories. We make them out to be greedy. We make them out to be this. We make them out to be that. When really, yeah, they want to make money like anybody else, but they also don't want to move their family to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, only 2 years later to get, like what happened to Jimmy Lake? Jimmy Lake finally gets a job. A year and a half later, he's out. Now, if he had a $20 million buyout there, he wouldn't be out.
And you're right about that. I mean, in protection money, there's nothing wrong with that. The part that I don't really like, Doug, is, I understand coaches are going to lie to you while they've got the job. Hey, I'm not I'm good here, whatever. But for Lincoln Riley to say the toughest decision he made came after they lose to Oklahoma State, a 2-hour nap, and you decide that you're going to do that, and you didn't have any conversations leading up to that, or your agent did. I just don't buy that. At this point, you don't need to lie to me.
Well, I'd agree with you. I would guess that there were conversations previously with his agent and with his wife, maybe over LSU more than USC. But I do think it's a tough decision. I mean, I don't know if you've ever left one job for another. I can tell you when I left ESPN, I've been there 9 years. It was really hard. And the second I said I want to go to CBS, I had immediate buyer's remorse. And when I left CBS, they come to Fox, I had major buyer's remorse. And there's parts of each place that I miss intensely. They're special places. You work somewhere long enough, you make really long lasting friendships, and you're working with talented people. So I actually believe that. And, look, Oklahoma was a job that was kind of entrusted to him by Bob Stoops. So this part of it is, it's a good thing. It's going out on his own, but I'm sure there's got to be a little bit, you're a little scared, right? Because you're that thing kind of was already wired. We knew we were getting players. We just had to get better players than we had been getting. And Bob had kind of lost his zip for going out and recruiting. Okay, now we're in a completely different area, completely different people, same desire for immediate results. And, let's see. So I do think that there's trepidation. That's our decision. I don't think that you only thought of it during that 2-hour nap. I'm with you. I don't buy that either.
Although, as an Oklahoma State guy, you got to be pretty thrilled that you ran Lincoln Riley out of the state. If they win that game, do you think he's the head coach at USC today?
Yeah. Wait, if they win that game, do I think he's the coach?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
See, and I agree with that too, but man, it's a better story to say Oklahoma State kicked Lincoln Riley out of Oklahoma, isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it's all. I mean, that game was so great. It's so meaningful to those kids on the field, all those guys that played in the football program. Just that football program has just been so maligned, even through their success, just because they haven't been able to beat Oklahoma enough,
I 100% agree. And again, it was fun to watch just as a Texas guy. Anytime OU loses, it's good there. And Oklahoma State playing in the Big 12 title game, I didn't see that coming. I've watched a handful of their games this year. I don't know how good they are, but yet they don't lose. They just go out there and they just get it done.
Well, I mean, what people forget, I'm actually right now, I'm at Albertson Stadium where Boise State plays. Remember, they survived Boise State by 2. They had to block a field goal late to win the game, but they didn't have their top 3 wide receivers weren't healthy, and their quarterback wasn't healthy to start the year. He missed their first start and barely played in their second game of the year. So they've changed and evolved a lot, but yeah, I mean, to go from where they were to where they are now is amazing.
It really is. Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio joining us here on the Blitz. I think you might have buried that. You're in Idaho right now?
Yes.
What game do you got coming up today or tonight?
I have Boise State against St. Louis.
That'll be good. It's been an interesting early part of the basketball season. That Duke game the other night was incredible, and then you had Gonzaga almost losing last night to Billy Gillispie.
Crazy, right? I mean, it's been amazing. That Gonzaga Duke game was such a high level game. The UCLA Nova game was a high level game. UCLA Gonzaga was not a high level game. UCLA was not ready for that. But I think it's going to be a great year in college. I think management like this is going to help basketball because so many of these kids, they not going to get drafted and they think they're going to go out and get a check and now they can get a little bit of money staying here. I think it's going to make it for the sport even better.
When you look at let's go back to the Duke Gonzaga game. The fact that those coaches are willing to play that game early in the season, it's so good for college basketball, but there was a time where you didn't get those kind of early season matchups. It's not like football where an early season loss could wreck your season, but in basketball, how do we ensure we get that in March?
We generally do, don't we? Like championship week is awesome. Remember the last week of the season you have, North Carolina, Duke, and and Kansas, usually Oklahoma State, and UCLA, Arizona. But then that's when conference tournament play starts, and we have all the big. I mean, that's Thursday and Friday of conference tournament seasons when you get the absolute best games. So you'll have 100 great games in a day, as opposed to the NCAA tournament where you have 32 games in the first 2 days, but only 5 or 10 of them are really good games. So I think it's going to be very interesting how the sport evolves. But we've actually had this more than you think. Just now, tournaments have expanded. There's more made-for-TV events, and even Jim Boeheim's playing people now. You don't have the coaches sitting at home not playing anybody, playing all games that they're going to win.
I agree, and I can't help but, as a Spurs fan, to watch Duke and think about how nice Banchero is going to look in a silver and black uniform.
He's terrific. You know who really knows is officials. Talk to the refs, and I did a UCLA UNLV game Saturday, and two of the refs, Kip Kissinger, had done the Gonzaga who they play Duke game, and he was like, Paolo is amazing. He's like, kid can play any position. He moves. He doesn't talk. He just plays. Like, the refs actually are a great place for analysis. They can tell you who can really play and who can't. That kid can really play.
That's good to know. Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio joins us every Tuesday. Enjoy Idaho, my friend. We'll visit next week.
I appreciate it. It's been a crazy week. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Exactly. Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio joining us here on the Blitz. And again, I mean, it's hard. That's pretty. I hadn't thought about it that way, Pledge, that, because Doug does a lot of college basketball games, you visit with the coaches before the broadcasts and probably the referees. I hadn't thought about the refs being your best analysis type. I mean, I don't know if the referee God types really want media types talking to the refs about analyzing players and that sort of stuff. But I mean, they're on the floor with them the entire game. They're watching them closer than the rest of us. And then, of course, you hear how well they chirp and if they're chirpers or not. Thought it was interesting. Quiet, could play all 5 positions. That's pretty good insight.
Sounds like a Spur.
He does sound like a Spur. And again, keep playing good, San Antonio. You got your back-to-back wins. Pop the record. Do everything that you need to do. But if that's the prize at the end of a bad season, that's not bad. Not that I'm saying tank for him. I'm not a tanker.
1 year, 1 year for 20.
If you get that, I mean, and again, this time of year, I can't say that I'm a guy that would say get on the tank train, right? I mean, it's too early. If things aren't going well and you're late January, February, and you have no shot, and you release a Thaddeus Young to a team that has an opportunity to go get a ring, because my goodness, that guy deserves one. He deserves the opportunity to go do that. Although he looks like he's enjoying his time here, but in reality, we know he's not a long-term Spur. Release the guy. Let him go chase a ring somewhere. Send him to Steve Kerr. Golden State looks incredible anyway, right? I mean, let him go do his thing and get a ring. I'd be completely down with that. And at that point, then it's a race for the bottom. Then it's a race for Banchero. I think that's the way you do it. You don't tank in November. You don't tank in December. You just don't play well and win. And this is a team, this Spurs team, and we've seen it. They're learning how to win. And what we've seen in the last 2 games are a part of the process. If you're going to tell me to trust the process, actually winning some games is a part of that. I don't understand Spurs Twitter who gets angry at a win. That part of me is just baffling. Speaking of winning, we've got prizes to give away. So let's see. It's 524 Pledge. We've got Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets to give away.
We do.
We have Sammy Hagar tickets to give away.
If there are any left.
Sammy is playing at the Aztec on Saturday night.
I know a certain someone in the station has his eyes on them.
You're talking about these ones over here?
Oh, they're already there?
They're not in the giveaway stack.
Okay.
Those are earmarked minutes.
Look what fell out of your pocket.
I will be there on Saturday night at the Aztec. Oh, Sammy Hagar. I'll drive 55 all the way there. In the right lane, apparently, because I'd get run over in the left lane. Although I can't drive 55, so I guess you could be going 80 while listening to it. But
sounds about right.
In the Eagles. Are we allowed to give these away today? It says starts Wednesday.
Yeah, they've updated the promo suite. We have one to give away for the Blitz today.
All right, because in the notes here it says starts Wednesday.
Well, when I wrote that, it was supposed to start Wednesday.
So at 5:24, do you want to give away Eagles, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, or Sammy Hagar?
I think we'll start off seeing as, calendar's about to turn to December. A little bit of Christmas music action. We'll start things off with some Trans-Siberian, build up with some Sammy Hagar before the legendary Eagles towards the end of the show.
So you wanted to do Trans-Siberian now?
You asked?
Well, I know, but I mean, you went through a long answer. I wasn't sure where you were actually going.
Yeah. I say we start with the change of the calendar, Christmas season, Trans-Siberian.
I heard you. I just wasn't sure what you were saying. All right, we got a pair of Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets to give away right now. It's Friday, December 10th at the AT&T Center. You want to go? Be caller number 9, 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller number 9. Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets are yours for next Friday, December 10th, down at the AT&T Center. You want the best water quality for your family. Let me tell you about Alamo water softeners. I've had a water softener in my home from Alamo water softeners for about a decade. In fact, when we moved, first thing I had installed in the new house was a new water softener from Alamo Water Softeners. And now is a great time for you to go to alamowatersofteners.com because they're offering 0% financing for 2 years with approved credit. So you can take advantage of this same as cash offer on a water treatment bundle with special pricing. Give your home the highest quality water treatment available. And right now, you can also get a free standard gas or electric water heater when you purchase a select top-of-the-line water softener, a +1 filter, and a reverse osmosis system. Whether you're in a new build or an older home, schedule one of their whole home specialists to come out to your house for a free water analysis and a customized plan for your house. Take advantage of bundle pricing and 0% interest for 2 years with approved credit. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com. Charean Williams from Flow Football Talk joins us next after Sports Center from James Pledger.
Thanks, Jason. We'll start off in the NFL, where according to Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, who is dealing with COVID-19 himself, wide receiver Amari Cooper, who has missed the last 2 games, could potentially miss a third this Thursday as he is dealing with lingering symptoms, mainly a cough. According to Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News, Cooper remains in COVID-19 protocol. He did not participate in today's walkthrough and is yet to be activated from the reserve COVID-19 list. In other Cowboy news, rookie cornerback Nashawn Wright was added to the COVID-19 reserve list, joining offensive tackle Terrence Steele as he will miss Thursday's game against the Saints. Also, Cowboys defensive tackle Brent Urban underwent season-ending tricep surgery as he has gone on the season-ending injured reserve. In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs are on a win streak as they beat the Washington Wizards 116-99 as Derek White led the way with 24 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. DeJounte Murray added 22 points to go along with 10 boards and 8 assists in the win. Finally, in college hoops tonight, the Texas A&M Aggies take on New Orleans at 6 o'clock from Reed Arena, while Texas State takes on Rice at 7. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
This flu season update is sponsored by Exergen. Do you have the flu? Here's CBS News medical contributor, Dr. David Agus.
The flu classically doesn't have GI symptoms to start and respiratory symptoms. It can, but it doesn't. But they can imitate each other. So the flu classically starts with fever and chills. And then if you have it for more than 3 days, you need to go to your doctor.
The leading sign of COVID is a fever. So everyone needs an accurate thermometer. Try the Exergen temporal scanner and learn more at Exergen.com.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole, and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Nothing says I love you like the gift of diamonds. A diamond pendant, a diamond anniversary band, a pair of diamond earrings. And around here, the diamond destination is Diamonds Direct. With our decades of experience, our worldwide connections, our legendary value, Diamonds Direct is here to help make this Christmas the most unforgettable ever. Our showcases are filled with exquisite diamond rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands. Can't miss gifts with lasting value and beauty. And now, through the end of December, you can get 4 years, 0 interest financing on any holiday purchase. If you're planning an engagement this holiday season, this special finance offer includes all of our designer engagement rings and all certified diamonds. Buy now, spread your payments over 4 years with 0 interest. Say I love you louder than ever this holiday with the gift of diamonds from Diamonds Direct. Get holiday store hours, directions, finance details, and see our online gift guide at diamondsdirect.com. Unapproved credit. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
Hey, Dallas Cowboy fans, Jason Minix here, letting you know Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, and San Antonio Sports Star, we're throwing a viewing party for the Cowboys-Saints game this Thursday out at R&J Saloon. We'll start with a live broadcast of the Blitz from 4 to 7, then stick around and watch the Cowboys take on the Saints. Enjoy $2 Miller Lite long necks during the game and register to win some great Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys gear and other great holiday stuff. That's this Thursday, 4 to 7 at R&J Saloon on South Flores.
Jason Minix, The Blitz.
Cowboys, Saints, Thursday night. We're going to be live out at R&J Saloon on South Flores with Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Lots of prizes to give away. Make sure you come see us on a Thursday for a live broadcast of the Blitz. Then stick around and watch the Cowboys and Saints game. I'm Jason Minix. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Let's talk about them Cowboys. Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joins us now. And Charean, as we get going, I want to get actually the latest on Amari Cooper. I read reports that he was in the building and looked like he could clear the COVID protocols. But now I'm seeing reports that that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, he did not practice today. He was not activated off the COVID list. If he was, he would have been on the practice report. He did not show up on the practice report, so he didn't practice. And it's looking slim that he will play on Thursday night. He will have to practice tomorrow in order to play, according to Mike McCarthy, what he said this morning. So it is not looking good for Amari Cooper to play. Probably will miss a third game. Of course, the Cowboys are 0-2 without him. Now, I'm not making any political statements here. I'm just saying, if he was vaccinated, I don't think he would have missed 3 games. That's just that's a fact. And but he's not vaccinated, and he got COVID, and so he's going to miss probably a third game, and we'll see how his conditioning is for that fourth game. They'll have the many buys. You would expect that he would be back for that last one, but he's really cost the Cowboys, frankly. I mean, you see how much they miss him on the field, and especially with CeeDee Lamb having his concussion the half 2 games ago that he missed. It just really hurt the Cowboys. It's just a fact. No political statement. It's just a fact that Amari Cooper has cost the Cowboys. Yes, he still could have caught COVID. We've seen it COVID cases. There are more of them. I'm going to write this later today. There's more COVID cases this year than they were last year. Many of those are vaccinated, but most of those players only missed 10 days and returned and play, 7 to 10. Ben Roethlisberger only missed 7, came back, played the next game. He's vaccinated. So just a fact of life that this is what Amari Cooper, yes, he has a personal decision. He made his decision, but now he's probably going to miss a third game.
And of course, we know where Jerry Jones stands on vaccination. And we've heard Jerry say many times, you got to check eye at the door. It's about we and what's best for the team. And that's being available. And you look at it with all the other COVID cases within the building, and he was the first one. Now, you're without your head coach, you're without a handful of other guys. What's it been like at the Star with, I don't know which phase or which plan? I heard Mike McCarthy say, there's a variety of plans they have for whatever is going on, but even from a media access, what's it been like just being around the Star?
Yeah, well, they've gone into enhanced protocols, so everything's been virtual, and everything's media-wise has been virtual, and it's pretty much shut down. So the only time that the players are there is to participate in practice. They've had no weightlifting. They don't have a strength and conditioning staff. They don't know if, obviously, their entire strength and conditioning staff has COVID and is out of the building. So they aren't doing any strength and conditioning. They're just doing their work on the field and felt like that would be best for them with what's going on. So the building is basically shut down. All meetings are virtual, and the only thing they're doing is going through practice, coming up there, getting dressed, going to practice, and then going home and having their meetings after that. So they are enhanced protocols, and this is not over. So they are where they are. They've flown to New Orleans now and will be there. And then obviously tomorrow they wake up and they all have to take COVID tests because they are in enhanced protocols. It is one of the things they have to do. So they will every player, every coach on the team will take, every staff member will take a COVID test tomorrow, and those will come back. And there is a chance they could have more positives tomorrow. There is a chance. We all know that. We saw what happened with Drew Lock, the Broncos backup quarterback. When they came to DFW, he tested positive on the day of the game and was not available. So they'll hold their breath for one more day and hope that they all clear the COVID test tomorrow, those that are available. And if they are, they can do without the strength and conditioning staff. They can do without most of the coaches, including Mike McCarthy tomorrow. And, the two players they have out are Nashawn Wright and Terrence Steele. They can do without them as well. Well, Amari Cooper you need, but I'm saying the recent cases, it's those two guys. So if this is all they have, Amari Cooper is your biggest loss at this point. It's a huge loss, but at least it's not more than that, which, again, they're holding their breath a little bit, but it's not more than that.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Charean, fair or not to say this, especially knowing he played a game or a couple without Amari and most of 2 without CeeDee Lamb, but is Dak Prescott in a slump?
I don't know. I think it's too early to say that because he has missed Amari Cooper and has missed him a lot and did miss CeeDee Lamb for a few quarters in there. So, I can't really say that he is, but he certainly hasn't looked like himself for whatever reason, whether it is those receivers that he has. Now, they've dropped an awful lot of passes too. So I'm not going to put it all on him and say he's in this massive slump. I think we'll see the Dak Prescott that we saw earlier in the year once he does get Amari Cooper back and a healthy CeeDee Lamb and gets Zeke healed up. Not having a healthy Zeke has really hurt them as well offensively. So when they get those guys healed up, which should be at about the right time, into the season, into the postseason, that'll be good for the Cowboys. But they do need to get them healed up. And I think this mini bye after this New Orleans game will serve this team well. And I think after that, you'll see them hit on all cylinders. And they need to, frankly. You see what Washington's doing now. They won some games in a row, 3 games in a row now, and they're just sitting there. They play the Cowboys twice, and they're 2 games back. So the Cowboys by no means have this division wrapped up, and they better get ready. They better get healthy, use this bye, and get ready for Washington because that's their competition. They're not only competing for seeding, they're competing to win that division now.
Well, and it's crazy because you look after the Saints, and you mentioned that mini bye. It's Washington, New York, Washington, Arizona, and Philadelphia. And my goodness, if Philadelphia would have beaten the Giants this weekend, imagine all of a sudden you've got drama in the NFC East where back, mid-October, it looked like the Cowboys were going to run away with the NFC East.
Yeah, and I still think they win the division, but it's not a given at this point. And I think we were ready to give it to them midway through October, even a couple of weeks ago before they lost to Kansas City and the Raiders back-to-back. I think we were ready to give it to them. But, yeah, this is a team that's not played very well over the last 4 games, and they need to turn it on and get back to where they were. And I do think they will. I think they will do that. They need to win on Thursday. Taysom Hill kind of changes things for the Saints. You don't know what to expect out of the Saints. But the Cowboys need to win this one. They're favored in this game. They need to win this game. They win this one and get the mini bye. I think they're in good shape.
When you look at it offensively for the Cowboys, and you mentioned Zeke has been banged up, and you could just see he doesn't look right. We know he's dealing with that knee. There was some talk about maybe having him miss a game. Jerry on the radio today, Jerry Jones said Zeke will, his words, get a serious load against New Orleans. Is that the smart play for the Cowboys right now?
I just don't know right where he is. He had another full practice today, so it's he's downplayed the injury. The Cowboys have downplayed the injury. Edwards' report said that they were thinking about resting him, and they've all denied that was the case. So Ed doesn't pull stuff out of thin air, so I'm sure someone told him that was a consideration, and they apparently decided that was not the right move, that he can manage the injury rather than have to rest. And they do get the mini bye after this where they can get him healthy. But he hasn't looked like the same Zeke, and his rushing yardage has declined every week. You saw Tony Pollard get more carries this past week, so it's obvious that he's not right. So it's a decision that they have to make. They have to make with him. And at some point, sometimes players want to play through stuff. They're really tough, and they want to play through stuff. And maybe it's at some point that the team needs to step in and say, look, we think it would be best if you sit out this one game and come back and we have this long rest period and get you healthy. But they obviously aren't going to do that. They don't feel like they need to do that. So we'll see what he can do Thursday and to get some time off and hopefully get healthy for the stretch run there at the end of the season.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz. On the defensive side, the good news is you get DeMarcus Lawrence back. That obviously helps the pass rush, and there's more help coming with Gallimore and Randy Gregory over the next couple of weeks. But just how do you – we haven't seen D-Law in so long. How does he impact this defense with what Micah Parsons has already shown he's capable of?
Yeah, I certainly think he's going to help it. He is your lead pass rusher, or was going into the season. Micah Parsons has played so well. I don't know if you can even say that anymore, but I think having both of those guys, and then like you said, when they get Gregory back, this is going to be a really good pass rush, or should be a really good pass rush with those 3 guys and some other guys you have kind of filling in for depth purposes. So this could be a really good team, a really good defense going into the postseason. They could be right where you want them. But again, it's all about seeding. Like, you have to win the division. You have to get a home game. You want to at least get, at minimum, I think the number 1 seed's probably gone, but at least get that number 2 seed, and then you can get 2 playoff games at home, and it improves your chances of getting to the championship game where you go to Green Bay or Tampa or wherever you're going to have to go to play that thing. You're far better off than having to go on the road and play 2, 3, whatever it is, road games. The Bucs were able to do it last year, but it's a hard, no pun intended, it's a hard road when you have to go do that. It's much easier if you can play at home and win those home games. It just makes it far easier to get where you want to go. But I do think they're going to be, but when we get down to it, when we get to the postseason, I think this is going to be a very good football team, and I think it's going to be a team that you're not going to want to play in the postseason. Now, I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying they should be healthy and should have all these players back. And Jerry talked about today that only have 2 players who aren't vaccinated, and both of those players have now had COVID. So they should be in a good place COVID-wise going into the stretch run.
And that is going to be such a key factor for every team as you get through December and into January. It's not just ankles you got to worry about. It's COVID as well. There's so many factors in there. With Taysom Hill back for the New Orleans Saints and expected to get the start, and I haven't seen a update on Alvin Kamara, but I know he's at least listed right now as questionable. But with Taysom at quarterback, do the Cowboys use somebody like Mike or Leighton as a spy on him? How do you defend a Saints team with Taysom Hill?
Yeah, I think you're more worried about the run with them with Taysom Hill at quarterback than you are with the pass. He's got to really show you that he can throw the ball down the field before you're getting too worried about the pass. So that's number one. What they're going to do is probably have Micah Parsons really try to take him out as a runner. And I think Micah can do a really good job of that. He's shown that this year. So that's your number one thing, is to stop their running game and to stop him from running crazy on you. And if you can do that, I think your chances of winning this game are really good.
Charean Williams, Pro Football Talk, watcher on Peacock. Always appreciate the insight and knowledge. We'll talk with you next week, hopefully after a Cowboys win.
Thanks so much, Jason.
Appreciate it. The great Charean Williams. Make sure you're following her on social media. She is certainly the best when it comes to covering the Cowboys and the NFL. And it's going to be an interesting game. It really is, because right now you you're on that teeter-totter. Are the Cowboys good, just in a little bit of a funk right now, or are the wheels about to come off? And I think this game Thursday night could go a long way. Now, granted, even if they lose at New Orleans, which historically is a tough place to play, but everything for the Cowboys is in front of them, because their December schedule is basically a gauntlet through the NFC East, if you can call it a gauntlet, but it's a run through the NFC East. I know Thursday, it's going to be a fun time. Cowboys Saints, we're going to be live out at R&J Saloon on South Florida Street. And we're going to be there with our friends at Miller Lite. And they have cleaned out the prize closet. You want to win a lot of cool stuff, make sure you get down to R&J Saloon on Thursday. We'll start the Blitz at 4. Not only do we have the Cowboys Miller Lite gear to give away, including one of those cool OtterBox coolers, but all the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater holiday gear from this year and last year. Because last year, well, there were no holiday parties to go to because of COVID. So we got lots and lots and lots of stuff to give away on Thursday out at R&J Saloon. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. If you're having any issues at the house with your plumbing, your heating, your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quarter Moon at 210-651-5899. And it's that time of year where you might have your heater on at night. You wake up cold and you put the heater on. In the middle of the day, you got to put the AC back on. You're having issues with either Quarter Moon. Plumbing problems, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quarter Moon, they do not have commissioned sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
The Dallas Cowboys, the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be a gridiron showdown. Catch all the action Thursday night at 7:20. Sponsored by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
O'Reilly. Is your vehicle ready for holiday travel? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you save on your next oil change. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil for $32.95. Plus, earn double O Rewards points with your purchase. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Amy, I need to sell my car, but there's so many choices out there. What should I do?
Why not try Carousel? We do things differently here. You get to talk to really nice people via phone call or text message. And because your time is valuable, we are by appointment only. Most people walk out in under an hour with cash in hand. Also, if you have an offer from the other guys, we'll do our best to compete and keep your business local.
What's the catch?
No catch. Just go to carzeus.com, that's CARZEUS.com, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll take it from there. Carousel, where you, your time, and money are valuable.
Alamo Cycleplex is doing their biggest giveaway of the year, and it is on fire. You have a chance to win a 2022 Honda Grom worth $3,399. Text the word Grom, G-R-O-M, to 812-324-8687. That's the word Grom, G-R-O-M, to 812-324-8687 to win a really cool bike. Also, you got 1 week left, just one, to take advantage of their November special. Stop by and get 20% off an oil change with the purchase of a coolant or brake flush. Excludes AAP services. All AAP members receive 15% off quality flushes with their AAP service. That's 20% off. You can't beat that. That's Alamo Cycleplex. They sell fun. And the thing about Alamo Cycleplex, when you purchase from them, you become family. They're always hanging out. They're always doing rides. So go and check them out. That's Alamo Cycleplex. We sell fun.
Big news from Simply Safe Home Security. Okay. Actually, I think the horns are too much. That's better. Big news. The new wireless outdoor security camera is here. Yes, Simply Safe's award-winning home security just got even better, taking whole home protection to a whole new level. Okay, I'm missing the horns. Simply Safe is celebrating this new camera with 50% off a new system this week. Visit simplysafe.com.
O'Reilly. Is your vehicle ready for holiday travel? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you save on your next oil change. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oil for $32.95. Plus, earn double O Rewards points with your purchase. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Rudy J on your home for Texas Rangers baseball. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. You know, on Thursday, halftime is going to be out at Twin Peaks from noon to 2, the North Star location. I think it's Jimenez and Rob Thompson. Is that right for Thursday, Pledge?
That's what I was told.
What I heard on the commercial. Go have lunch with the boys out there. Make sure you wake up with R&R in the morning. Rob Thompson, Rudy J from 7 to 10. You know, there's a lot going on in the NBA. Tonight's one of those good NBA nights. And I say it that way because the Spurs aren't playing. So, you know, you put on TNT. Brooklyn and New York are playing, which honestly, weeks ago, I didn't know if that was going to be a lot of fun to watch. Then later tonight, you've got Golden State and Phoenix, the 9 o'clock game. And my goodness, so you look at the way the Phoenix Suns are playing right now and the Golden State Warriors. This could be a preview of the Western Conference Finals. I mean, you've got 1 versus 2 right now. You've got Golden State that's won 7 in a row. Phoenix says, hold my beer. The Suns have won 16 straight. They play tonight at 9 o'clock on TNT. That's going to be a good basketball game. That's going to be a fun basketball game to watch. Hope Harlan is on the call for that. The Los Angeles Lakers, they take on Sacramento tonight in a game that's not on TNT, but they're not going to have LeBron James. LeBron James, who's dealt with an ankle, an ab, a suspension, now has corona. LeBron James has entered the league's health and safety protocols. He will miss tonight's game against the Sacramento Kings. We've talked about it. vaccinated players, vaccinated people can catch corona. They can still test positive. What I find interesting is if you go to ESPN.com right now, as you see all the people that are entering the health and safety protocols for whatever league that they might be in. If you're vaccinated, you tend to come back a lot faster, and we know that. But on the day that LeBron James enters the protocols, the lead story on ESPN.com, on the NBA page, NBA study urges boosters and vaccinations. As we get into the booster season, I don't know that anybody is surprised by that, nor should they be surprised by that. But when you look at all the other stories that are going on in the NBA, that's the first one on the NBA page at ESPN.com, ahead of LeBron entering the protocol. Of course, that news is just breaking over the last couple of minutes that LeBron James has entered the health and safety protocols. He's going to miss another game. And when you look at the NBA right now, and it is fascinating because we're not even in December yet. The separation that you're starting to see, especially in the Western Conference. When you look at what Golden State, Phoenix, what they're doing, you got Utah, Dallas, and the Clippers in Minnesota. The Lakers are a 500 basketball team. You know, they put together all these aging dudes. And granted, it doesn't matter in November what your record is. Can they get healthy and be healthy in March and April and be healthy when they get into the playoffs? But it is strange to see a LeBron James team at 500 with Anthony Davis, with Russ, with, you know, the AARP crew that they put together this offseason. But I look at Golden State and they're back. Phoenix, they had a hell of a run last year, and they've just picked up where they left off. 17-3 on the season. Yet they're a game back of Golden State with a 16-game win streak. And they play tonight in a game on TNT. It is kind of interesting when you look at it that way. And you think about the basketball that's going to be on tonight, college football on tonight. You need a great place to go watch the games. There's no better place than the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. They got those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around, and great food as well. Go in there hungry. If the Rue Pub wasn't a great bar, they'd be a great restaurant. Turns out they're both. The food is fantastic, all made from scratch. You need a burger, they got about 15 different burgers on the menu there. Great salads, great appetizers, love their chicken sandwich. They've got the biggest and the best wings in San Antonio. And their kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So if you're out somewhere late, you went somewhere and you're hungry, go to a drive-through. Get into the Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. They got all the beers. They got the full bar. They got an incredible game room. Their darts area is fantastic. Indoor cornhole. And if you're into the music, just don't be like Pledge and play Kesha. Rue Pub has happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Rue Pub next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We will see you at the Rue.
Their games. And there are games. Welcome to a whole new season of the NBA, right here on ESPN Radio. Get the latest news, moves, analysis, and more. The NBA plays here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, Dallas Cowboy fans, Jason Minix here, letting you know Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, and San Antonio Sports Star. We're throwing a viewing party for the Cowboys-Saints game this Thursday out at R&J Saloon. We'll start with a live broadcast of the Blitz from 4 to 7, then stick around and watch the Cowboys take on the Saints. Enjoy $2 Miller Lite long necks during the game and register to win some great Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys gear and other great holiday stuff. That's this Thursday, 4 to 7 at R&J Saloon on South Flores.
Want to make this the most unforgettable Christmas? Diamonds Direct is here to help with our most dazzling selection ever and 4 years zero interest financing. Imagine the look in her eyes opening that box and seeing an elegant diamond tennis bracelet or a stunning pair of diamond earrings. Diamonds Direct showcases are fully stocked with the classics, as well as the latest trendy fashion jewelry from world-class designers. Unique, one-of-a-kind items you can't find anywhere else. And if you need help, our experts will guide you, respecting your price range and offering tips on the can't-miss gifts for this season. You'll get the unbeatable value price Diamonds Direct is known for. Plus, spread your payments over 4 years, 48 whole months with 0 interest. This December, give the gift that sends the message of love like nothing else. A beautiful, meaningful, and memorable piece of jewelry from Diamonds Direct. Get holiday store hours, directions, finance details, and see our online gift guide at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
The marriage is over. You know it. Your friends know it. So why fight? Call divorcedude.com at 210-201-0303 and ask for Mark, the Divorce Dude. With Polling Law PLLC, divorcedude.com can help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the divorcedude.com can fight for you. Divorcedude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. If the marriage is over, why fight? Divorcedude.com.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said now he speaks Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Tuesday afternoon just after 6 o'clock as they announce the latest rankings in the college football playoff. We'll keep you updated throughout the next hour, but it is a Tuesday. That means it's time for our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. They're online at TSAOG.com. Let's welcome in former LSU Tiger, Dr. Casey Tabor. Doc, before we talk about injuries, let's talk about your new head coach.
Come on, go Tigers, baby. Come on.
That was a piss poor Ed Ogeron. Dr. Tabor, I mean, I know you. Well, at one point you were a fan of Ed Ogeron. The fact that there were all the rumors about Lincoln Riley, about Jimbo Fisher, then Lincoln goes over to USC. LSU says, "Hold my beer, we're bringing in Brian Kelly." What was your reaction when you started seeing the news yesterday of LSU hiring Brian Kelly away from Notre Dame?
So I had heard a couple of those rumors, and I knew that we were pursuing him to some degree. I thought it was a great hire. I actually think it's less risky. I think Lincoln Riley's upside is potentially higher, but I think from a risk perspective, Brian Kelly is as safe as you can get and as good as you can get. So I'm really excited about the hire. He's the first coach to ever leave Notre Dame for another college gig, which I think says a whole lot for our AD and the pursuit in that guy. I'm really excited about it, actually.
A $95 million contract. I'm curious, have they called you yet looking for donations?
No, I was going to call you and see if you could help me out with that. I'm not sure where I am on the donation scale, but it's probably on the low end of the spectrum.
I think on this Giving Tuesday, Doc, every LSU former player needs to chip in some, especially those that have doctor in front of their name.
That's true, and I'm not afraid to chip in, but I think I'll be a very small percentage of $95 million chip in.
I think they just need a lot of people to chip in a little bit. I think it's a great hire.
In today's world, you almost have to do that. These contracts, you think about 10 years ago what those contracts were. Today, these contracts are just crazy.
They are. And again, but you look at the money being generated from college football, the interest level in college football, and you look at 10-year deals, which are interesting, but coaches know they're going to get fired. And I want to make it as difficult as I can for you to fire me. So that's why we need these contracts with these big buyouts. I mean, look at how much money Ed Orgeron is going to make not to coach. I need a job that will pay me $17 million not to come to work.
Well, I would love to have that job. Unfortunately, I'd take a job that just says come 1 year and give me $17 million, much less 7 or 8 years. But you know what? That's the world, and they've chosen it. That's not an easy occupation. There are a lot of guys that succeed and do great with that, and there's obviously risk involved with that. But if you want to get the big dog, you're going to pay the money, and that's a fact. And if they do succeed, they'll bring that whatever $100 million 3x back to your school over a 10-year period.
Absolutely, a splash hire for LSU, and again, that is what Scott Woodward does. He goes out and he hires big names. Look at what he did with women's basketball, some of the other hires that he has made. So it shouldn't be a surprise that he went out and got a huge name to go coach LSU. Dr. Casey Tabor, he played for LSU. He's a former football player down there. You know he's happy today. But let's talk some injuries. Cowboys and Saints playing on a Thursday night. Zeke has looked bad. You could tell he's playing on one leg. He's been dealing with a knee injury for a couple of weeks, but playing through it. Jerry Jones said today that he will have a serious workload on Thursday night against the Saints, although there were some Ed Werder reports saying that they might give him a week off just to have that extra time up to heal and be ready for that December run. When you look at the way Zeke is playing, from a medical standpoint, if you were advising the Cowboys with what knowledge you have, is it wise to go into the game counting on Zeke when he could only carry it 9 or 10 times last week against the Raiders?
I think Zeke needs to play. And I'm not sure all of the offensive woes with the Cowboys need to ride on Zeke's shoulders. I don't think the offensive line has looked real good. I don't think honestly, Prescott was just on fire, and he hasn't looked as good as he had as in the beginning weeks. And then you lost your 2 top receivers last week, and then Cooper was out the week before. So there's a lot of things offensively outside of Zeke, but I think Zeke's going to play. I think he's been dealing with this since, I don't know, week 3 or week 4. I don't know that it's a whole lot worse. I know he tweaked it.
Did we lose Dr. Tabor? Did his phone go down? Heard birds chirping in the background. Maybe one of the birds got a hold of his phone. We'll try to reconnect with Dr. Casey Tabor from TSAOG Orthopedics as we continue with our injury update. While we do reconnect, the top 25 being revealed. Oklahoma, after losing Oklahoma State, they dropped 4 spots down to 14. I saw Texas A&M in there at number 25. Michigan State is at 11. And again, those don't matter. UTSA not in there at all. And again, it doesn't matter. It's really the top 6, top 8 that matter in the college football playoff. And when they get to that, we'll reveal that. In the meantime, we've reconnected with Dr. Casey Tabor. I think that was Scott Woodward buzzing in, looking for money, and you just hung up the phone on everybody. Decline all.
Hey, sometimes I got to answer important phone calls. Scott Woodward calls, you answer.
Absolutely you do. Although, unless you know he's looking for money, then maybe you let it go to voicemail, right?
Hey, I'd rather talk to you. Hold on, let's talk.
All right. So Zeke, you expect him. Jerry says he's going to playing through the knee injury. He's not going to make it worse. It's just a pain tolerance thing. But on the Saints side, you got Mark Ingram is expected back. He's been dealing with the knee. Alvin Kamara may be back, limited in practice yesterday. He's dealing with the knee injury. Quite frankly, Alvin Kamara is on my fantasy team. I need him back, although I don't know if I want him back this week against the Cowboys. And Taysom Hill, coming off of that foot injury, hasn't played for a couple of weeks. I don't know who's more banged up, the Cowboys or the Saints.
Well, there's no doubt that I would say the Saints are more banged up, primarily with their key offensive guys. this is a big game for both teams. Both teams have not looked good in the last 2 or 3 weeks, so I would expect all of those guys playing. I think Zeke will be 90%. I would hope that Kamara is somewhere in that percentage. But these guys, as a running back in the NFL, you're going to deal with injuries week in and week out, and so that none of these really surprise me necessarily.
With Taysom coming off of a foot injury, and I'm more worried about his running ability than his throwing ability, easy for me to say. But you look at Taysom Hill knowing that he's primarily a runner, coming off of a foot injury. Is there limitations for him, or have they had to hold him back until he can get into a game without limitations?
I think there's no doubt there's going to be limitations with him, which really hurts him because, like you said, he's primarily like his strong point is the ability to move the pocket and get second chances and run the ball, quite frankly, for actually big yardage. So I would be concerned on the Saints side more with Taysom Hill than I would my running backs, because that's a large percentage of his game is his mobility and his ability to move the ball with his feet.
Dr. Casey Tabor joining us here on the Blitz. The Green Bay Packers have a bye. There was some talk that Aaron Rodgers might go get surgery on his toe that he showed off to the world the other day. Now he says he does not plan on having surgery. That's what he told Pat McAfee. To do some sort of surgery, first off, on your toe. I mean, we've all heard turf toe. We've heard this, that. Are there things you can do to help your toe to keep it from, what did I read, displacing any further?
Well, first off, Aaron Jones is on my fantasy league just like Kamara is on yours, and I have no desire for him to have surgery. But secondly, they do so turf toe. What turf toe is basically a hyperextension of the toe. So that means that the toe bends in the wrong direction. We can all bend our toes forward, but we can't bend them backwards. And so you usually get tackled in an awkward manner, and then it pushes the toe further back than it should. And so there are some surgeries where you go and reattach part of the ligament that is pulled off with that hyperextension injury. Those aren't real common, and honestly, they're not real successful. Typically, people do better by treating them non-surgically. So I would suspect, and he came back this week, which was a week earlier than they thought. I thought they'd hold him out this week because they have a bye this week, and then he'd be ready to go the following week. So I would expect him to hold out this week. They'll hold him out of practice and then be back next week for full game participation.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers in that toe and all the toes they're dealing with there in Green Bay. Interesting stuff going on in the training room. Dr. Casey Tabor joining us here for our injury update. He's with TSAOG Orthopedics. Doc, before I let you go, Tiger Woods did an interview last night with Golf Digest, did a press conference this morning. Didn't get into too much detail about his leg injury, although he got into some, more detail than maybe some of us would have liked. But there was a legitimate conversation, he said, about amputating his leg. Yet now he's able to hit golf balls and walk normally. What were they looking at where cutting the thing off was one of the options at 50-50?
So typically with these injuries, when you have a lot of soft tissue damage, it's not always the bone issues, because the bones we can typically fix and get them back where they need to be, and they'll usually heal. It's the soft tissue issues. And so he had what used to be called a compound fracture, but basically means the bone came through the soft tissues and came out of the skin. They get dirty, high risk of infection, high risk of non-healing, and then high risk of what we call a compartment syndrome, which means that their soft tissues swell up to a significant manner that the muscle dies on the leg, essentially. And often those people potentially can end up with an amputation. So I'm sure that conversation was had with the degree of injury that he did have. Fortunate for him, he didn't. So he is now able to get back on on the golf course, but those are serious injuries when the bone comes through the skin, for the risk of infection, the risk of functional issues, and then the risk of loss of limb.
I just can't imagine how gruesome that must have been, although I'm guessing you've probably seen that more than once.
Unfortunately, I have. I did my residency at Parkland Hospital, and we see more of that than you really want to see. But it happens, and fortunate for him, he was able to pull through. And, you know, we all hope that he plays golf to some degree. My guess is that I don't know that we'll ever see him play to the level he was before. But you hope, you pull for the guy and hope that he gets back out and he's part of the golf community for the rest of his life in a positive way.
Certainly agree with that. Dr. Casey Tabor, I think Scott Woodward is calling again. He's sending the birds after you. I'm not sure how many birds you have out there, but they're making a lot of noise saying, donate, donate. We got to pay our coach $95 million.
Yeah, well, you got to be part of the program, baby.
There you go, man. Congrats on the LSU hire. Former LSU football player, Dr. Casey Tabor. Always appreciate the time.
Thank you, buddy. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate it. Our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics, online at TSAOG.com. And yes, he did play at LSU, which I know he's pretty happy about the hire and everything going on with his program. The top 25 college football playoff are being revealed right now. We got Georgia in at number 1. No surprise. We got Michigan jumping 3 spots. They're at number 2 after they knocked off Ohio State. They are at number 2. Alabama is at number 3. And as we sit today, Cincinnati is there at number 4. So now you start thinking about, okay, the championship weekends. You got Alabama and Georgia playing this weekend in the SEC championship. You've got Oklahoma State and Baylor playing in the Big 12 championship. Oklahoma State's number 5. Notre Dame, without a coach, they're at number 6. Cincinnati, could they lose to Houston? I think they could. Houston's good. Houston is very good. Now we could have chaos because with Alabama at number 3, if they lose to Georgia, and they will, there is no way Alabama makes the playoffs with 2 losses.
Unless
what?
Well, I don't know. Let's say that your number 4 team in Cincinnati loses to Houston, which they could. Houston's been red hot. All of a sudden, that loss to Cincinnati by Notre Dame not looking as good. I don't know. Maybe they drop a game on the way out because no head coach. Also, Cincinnati dealing with Luke Fickell rumors. Could he be going to Notre Dame? Little bit of inner controversy within the Cincinnati program.
All of that's on the table. All right, so you've got Notre Dame at 6. By the way, Ohio State is at number 7. Could they be on the outside looking in? So when you look at the conference championship games this weekend, the Pac-12 game, which is Oregon against Utah, a game that you can listen to right here if you're not paying attention to the UTSA game, because I'm taking the day off. I don't know what the hell is going to happen from 4 to 6, but we found something to cover up. And so it's going to be Oregon against Utah in the Pac-12 game, because I'm going to be at the Dome watching UTSA take on Western Kentucky in the Conference USA Championship game. But it's interesting when you look at the times of some of these games, too. So 11 a.m., you got Baylor and Oklahoma State playing. Oklahoma State wins that game. Boy, they're going to be sitting really pretty when you think about where they're at. Then all them Oklahoma State types, they're going to be rooting for chaos. Who cares about the Mountain West game? But that's San Diego State against Utah State. That game is on Fox. Oh, yeah, 3 o'clock. Georgia, Alabama. 3 o'clock, also you have Houston and Cincinnati. Michigan and Ohio don't play until 7. So when you start thinking about everything that could happen, and at this point, I am rooting for chaos. I want to see all the chaos there. Patella Franklin, what if Cincinnati, Alabama, and Michigan all lose? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what the committee would do at that point. I mean, I think everybody on the committee wants Cincinnati to lose just so they could be uninvited to the party, right? Michigan, where's Michigan right now? At number 2? They took it off my screen. Michigan's at number 2. If they lose, how far would they drop? What would they say if Alabama loses? If Alabama loses, I think they're out. If Georgia loses, Georgia could go from 1 to 4. I think Georgia can afford a loss at this point to Alabama, and that would put 2 SEC teams in the college football playoff and probably knock a Cincinnati out if Alabama beats Georgia. I just don't think they will. I think Georgia steamrolls Alabama. I mean, steamrolls Alabama. I think Houston can knock off Cincinnati. I don't know what the weather's going to be like in Ohio, but it's December. It's going to suck, and that's a home game for Cincinnati. They're favored by 10.5, but I like the way Houston's been playing. Michigan and Iowa, how does Michigan respond to their big win over Ohio State? Can they keep it going? Can Harbaugh get another big win? I think somehow Oklahoma State is going to sneak into the college football playoff. I really do. I think the committee is going to end up giving the Big 12 and Bowlesby a parting gift, and that's a playoff berth for a sneaky good Oklahoma State team. Even if it knocks out an undefeated Cincinnati team. Cincinnati not only has to beat Houston, they need to beat the brakes off of Houston because they really aren't invited to the party. The committee says you're invited, but they really don't want you there. They really don't want Cincinnati as a part of the party. But at some point, you look at it, and they're going to, they haven't lost. If the committee was going to do that, what's the word I'm looking for? The committee was going to drop Cincinnati without a loss. They would have done it already when they have had not so sexy wins. When Navy gave them a run for the money, you would have thought that would have been an opportunity there. I am just surprised to see Michigan jump up as high as they did following that win. No penalty for Alabama needing overtime to win the Iron Bowl. And I think the committee is saying Alabama will take care of themselves because Georgia will destroy them. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. And then, of course, Saturday or Friday night, you've got the Conference USA Championship game. Can we bitch a little bit about the NCAA as a whole? What is the point of having home field advantage if the NCAA is going to come in and take away your home field advantage? This is twice this week in San Antonio that I will see this. Last weekend at the UIW game. UIW is hosting a first-round playoff game. They beat Stephen F. Austin in a thriller, 35-28. But it's an NCAA game. So the PA announcer can't do what PA announcers do, fire up a home crowd. The advertising becomes very NCAA and not what you would normally see. The NCAA controls everything. They want a sterile, neutral environment. Same thing on Friday night for UTSA. The PA announcer is not going to be able to rally up the crowd. The signage and all that apparently is controlled by the NCAA. What's the point of hosting, of working your butt off to have home field advantage if they try to take away some of those advantages? I mean, it tells me that the conference is too cheap to pay rent on a facility and reserve it and have two teams fly in on the conference's dime for a true neutral site. So we're going to take a home site and try to make it neutral, which is just stupid. You earned the right to play at home. So you should be able to have a true home game. I don't understand why the NCAA cares what the PA announcer does in a championship game. If it's a home field game, let the home field announcer do his thing. Put your signs up. Do the things that you would normally do. Some things just don't make a whole lot of sense. That, to me, is one of them. Work your butt off, get home field, but you can't use it. Just nuts. Just nuts. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star. Again, if you missed it, Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Alabama 3, Cincy 4, Oklahoma State jumps all the way up to number 5. The Big 12 is finally going to get a playoff team, and it ain't the Horns or the Sooners. That's comical. And Notre Dame is at number 6. What would Notre Dame? I don't think there's. I mean, Notre Dame, I guess, could trip into it if everybody lost, but they don't have a coach. Their coach is now down the way. What if Baylor beats Oklahoma State? They're at number 9 right now. They're too far to jump up. Chaos. Love it this time of year. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We got some stuff to give away. Pledge. What are we giving away? Sammy Hagar, Saturday night at the Aztec Theater. I'm going. If you're caller number 55, I won't do that, Pledge. If you're caller number 5, you're going to be going as well. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, caller 5. You're going to win a pair of tickets to see Sammy Hagar Saturday night at the Aztec Theater. You got chances to win all week on R&R in the morning, halftime, and, of course, the Blitz. Caller 5, you're going to go see Sammy Hagar Saturday night out at the Aztec Theater. Jason Minix here for River City Oral Surgery. If you need your wisdom teeth out, if you need a tooth pulled, you need dental implants, you need to know about Dr. Mark Havercorn at River City Oral Surgery. Dr. Havercorn offers direct patient care, so you don't need a referral. You simply just call and make an appointment. And what's great, when you talk about direct patient care, that means it's a cash business. Now, when I say cash, they offer financing. They'll take a check, a cashier's check. You can put on a credit card. You don't have to walk in there with a wad of actual 20s or whatever. But all the prices are listed on the website at rivercityoms.com. Even if you have dental insurance, River City Oral Surgery will probably still be less. And all prices are inclusive, including your post-op care. And if you have insurance, you can still file a claim and get some of that money back. Free market medicine is the way to go. And you know what you're going to pay when you show up. You know you're going to get great care from Dr. Havercorn, who is an oral surgeon, a specialist, a medical doctor. He treats people of all ages. In fact, he is so good, people drive from all over the state to see him and to take advantage of the way that he does business there. River City Oral Surgery is a full-scope oral surgery practice. They're over there on 1604 near I-10, right basically across the highway from Topgolf. Call 210-778-0002, 778-0002, or go to the website, rivercityoms.com, rivercityoms.com for River City Oral Surgery. Spurs got a big win last night. We'll also talk some Cowboys after Sports Center from James Pledger.
Thanks a lot, Jason. We'll start with those Spurs who beat the Wizards 116-99, going on their first, get this, win streak of the year as they beat the Wizards. Derek White led the way with 24 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists, while DeJounte Murray added 22 points to go along with 10 boards and 8 assists, nearly getting a triple-double. In college hoops, the UTSA Roadrunners improved to 5-3 with a 75-65 win over the St. Mary's Rattlers. The 8th-ranked Texas Longhorns beat Sam Houston State 73-57 behind Marcus Carr's 19 points, while Andrew Jones and Courtney Ramey each added 14. Tonight, the 6-1 Texas A&M Aggies will welcome the New Orleans Privateers into College Station with tip-off from Reed Arena, set for 6 o'clock. The Texas State Bobcats will take on Rice tonight at 7. In the NFL, Dallas Cowboys rookie cornerback Nashawn Wright has been added to the COVID-19 reserve list as he joins offensive tackle Terrence Steele, who will miss the game. Also, Amari Cooper has yet to be removed from the COVID-19 list himself, as he's missed the last 2 games and might miss a third, as he is still dealing with lingering symptoms, mainly a cough. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and past South Dakota, Santa was coming on his brand new Kubota.
That's not how it goes.
The sidekick, you see, was his new mode of travel. In his XG850, he was kicking up gravel.
What about the reindeer?
In Texas, he said, now I need a tractor. A Kubota from Ewald is just the right factor. While driving his sidekick, he sang through the night,
Merry Christmas to all. And to all a good night.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors that stand out in the Me Too snack aisle. Sea salt and cracked black pepper, pineapple ancho chili, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to higher flavor levels with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Visit your local HEB and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rinds.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
My name is Josephine. About 9 years ago, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I suffered from digestive issues and had pain all over my body. I was always tired. I was pre-diabetic with hypertension. I thought this is how I'd live the rest of my life. Doctors would prescribe medicine and send me home, but nothing helped. Then I saw an interview with Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. I called for a free evaluation and immediately realized I have found the answer. After being on Dr. Torres' program, my pain went away, my body went through good changes, and I had tons of energy. Even my mindset changed. I have a life again. I've lost 70 pounds, went from a size 18 jean to a size 7. I no longer take medication. I've learned to manage my fibromyalgia, and my digestive issues have vanished. I feel great. Dr. Torres has changed my life.
I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for your free consultation, 468-1891, 468-1891.
O'Reilly. Get ready for winter weather and save money at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stay safe by replacing your old wiper blades with a new pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades and save $8 now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. We'll even install them for you for free. The holiday gift guide is here with something for everyone on your list. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, Dallas Cowboy fans, Jason Minix here, letting you know Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys, and San Antonio Sports Star, we're throwing a viewing party for the Cowboys-Saints game this Thursday out at R&J Saloon. We'll start with a live broadcast of the Blitz from 4 to 7, then stick around and watch the Cowboys take on the Saints. Enjoy $2 Miller Lite long necks during the game and register to win some great Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys gear and other great holiday stuff. That's this Thursday, 4 to 7 at R&J Saloon on South Flores.
'Twas the season of cheer, and joy filled the town, except for Scrooge with his perma-frown. The gift of a Peloton bike touched his soul without doubt.
Work, Peloton!
When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out.
You can do it!
The original Peloton bike is our best price ever, $39 a month. All access membership separate. Terms apply. See website for details.
WWE is coming home to San Antonio's AT&T Center with Friday Night SmackDown, December 3rd. See Drew McIntyre join the New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods to face Universal Champion Roman Reigns and SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Usos. Then Sasha Banks challenges Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, plus much more. Tickets start at $20. Get yours now at Ticketmaster.
Dear Santa, we tried to be good, but there were too many other options. Happy holidays. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The Eagles Hotel California's tour You got to plan ahead for this one. May 19th of 2022 at the Moody Center in Austin. It should be finished by then. The Hotel California Tour. You want a pair of tickets to go see the Eagles in concert? The caller number 12 right now, 656 ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 12. You can put May 19th on your calendar and book it. Those tickets are yours on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Reading some comments made by the college football committee, dude. If you're Notre Dame, if you're a Domer, dude, it sucks to be you today. So you have Brian Kelly leave for LSU. Called his players in for a 7 a.m. meeting to tell him he was leaving. That meeting lasted 2 minutes. He didn't take any questions from his players, didn't share a bunch of hugs. Basically, hey, guys, made you wake up? Just tell you I'm out. You guys saw that on Twitter, but you're hearing it from me. I'm leaving. Love you. Bye. I'm out. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Dos minutos, as Kevin Brock would say. And now, because he is leaving, the chairman talking after the rankings were announced today. And Notre Dame's got an opportunity based on the rankings today. Chip Kelly, or Kelly's departure. I almost called him Chip. Why did they call him Chip? Brian Kelly's departure didn't factor into this week's ranking, according to the chairman. But it could next week after the championship games, because their protocols do account for a coach or a player not being available to put a team into the committee. So in other words, Notre Dame has no shot. Those players at Notre Dame have no shot of making the playoffs now because their coach bolted before the end of the season. If the dominoes fall and an 11-1 Notre Dame team is left out because Coach Kelly leaves, the outrage. Could you imagine? Alabama loses to Georgia, but they stay at number 4. So then we get a 1-4 rematch again a couple days later. That would suck. Or what if Michigan loses to Iowa and Notre Dame still gets left out? Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State. The more I look at this, Oklahoma State, when they beat Baylor on Saturday in the Big 12 championship game, they will leapfrog Cincinnati into that number 4 spot. Oklahoma State is set up perfectly to get into the playoff. Houston's ranked number 24. Baylor's a top 10 team. Oklahoma State's going to leapfrog Baylor. Oklahoma State is going to leapfrog Cincy. And the committee next week is going to say it's because they had a top 10 win and Cincinnati doesn't. Cincinnati better beat Houston by 50 to keep their hopes alive. Chaos. We're going to get the chaos that we all want. And there is going to be some mad fan bases next week. Gary Barta said on the final rankings, their protocol does include considering a player or a coach not being available. Notre Dame has no chance of being in the playoffs, even though you saw what you saw today. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. You want to be a part of the show? You want to chime in on what the rankings said today? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. The UTSA Roadrunner's not in the rankings. I didn't see him in the top 25. They fell all the way out. Although A&M, they make an appearance at 25. Congrats to the Aggies. They lose a game and jump in. UTSA loses a game and falls out. Fell out of all the polls. But I tell you what, with Oklahoma State at 5 and Baylor at 9, no matter what Cincinnati does, unless they win by 50, Oklahoma State, if they beat the Baylor Bears, will jump Cincinnati in the final rankings. Cincinnati is not really invited to the party. Even though they got the invite, they really aren't welcome to sit at the big boy table. Let's talk some Cowboy football. They play the New Orleans Saints Thursday night. We're going to be live out at R&J Saloon on South Flores with Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Lots of prizes we're going to give away Thursday. Not only Cowboys Miller Lite gear, including one of those cool OtterBox coolers, but also all the Miller Lite ugly sweater stuff for the holidays. And we got this year's holiday edition Miller Lite gear, but also last year's, because last year it stayed in a box because COVID. We didn't get to have the holiday parties. So it's Cowboy Watch Party / Miller Lite Holiday Party Thursday, 4 to 7 at R&J Saloon. We'll see you there. And for the Cowboys, they've lost 3 of 4. And I've asked all the different experts that have come on the show, is Dak Prescott in a slump? And I say that not to be critical of Dak Prescott. I know he's playing without his 2 best wide receivers in Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. So he doesn't have the weapons that he's used to having. But I've seen Dak Prescott be off on a lot of throws. Clutch throws that I expect Dak Prescott to make. What I find interesting is this morning on 105.3 The Fan, during his weekly appearance, team owner Jerry Jones, he seems to be watching a different quarterback than I am.
Well, this may sound strange. It will. I thought Dak played a good game the other day. And we weren't hitting on all cylinders. Some would say, well, Dak was a part of that. He'd like to have some back that he threw. But in general, I thought that Dak played a good game. And have we had more success? Obviously we have. But I thought he did a really great job, particularly coming back after being thwarted, I'm going to use that word, most of the afternoon, and then come back and get us in a spot to win the game. So, again, he wants more. He does want more. We want more result, but that's not a criticism of him. I'm glad we've got him, boy. He's one of the best. And contrary to the fact that we lost the game, he got us back in position, and I thought he was the deciding difference to get us back in position to have a chance to win the game. And that's what we asked him to do.
And you know, all of that is fair, Jerry. All of that, everything that Jerry said is true. Very glass half full from team owner Jerry Jones. But there are some plays out there that the man just flat missed. Some throws that look off target. I'm a Dak fan. I think Dak is great. He's earning every penny that he's there. Is he elite? Is he like in the Aaron Rodgers class? No. But if I'm going to pay my quarterback $1 gazillion, like Jerry is doing, and we've seen Dak win games on his own, but Dak became the man when they traded for Amari Cooper. I need to see Dak do it without Amari. You don't have all your toys there, man. Dak, I'm on your shoulders. Take me to the finish line. And he almost did. Missed extra point and 61 pass interference penalties on Anthony Brown. He can't control that. But there's just that third down throw to Noah Brown just drives me nuts. You dirted it. Lead your receiver. He had first down yardage and probably turns it up the field for another 10. There's been too many throws like that. At the same time, in that same game against the Raiders, he was throwing some dimes. But you go back to the Denver game. You go back and you look at some of he just isn't as accurate for whatever reason. Arm sore, Cowboys won't tell you that, but there's something that just doesn't seem quite right with Dak Prescott. Maybe it's the play calling from Kellen Moore. I don't need Dak Prescott throwing it 47 times. We've seen enough evidence at this point when this Cowboys team is more balanced, even if they're not ramming it down the other team's throat on the ground. When they're more balanced, the Cowboys win more games. Look at the opener against Tampa Bay. He threw it 50 times and they lost. Go look at his stats. When they're more balanced, they win. When he's throwing it 40 times, they lose. They're close. They're interesting. They lose. The end result: 47 passes against the Raiders, 20 rushes. Well, Zeke's got a banged up knee. And here's the thing that we don't always know, and probably never will. How many run plays did Dak check out of to throw the ball? And that's fair. But we've also seen Dak check out of pass plays to run the ball. Zeke doesn't look 100%. We know he's not 100%. But according to Dr. Jerry, he's going to get a full workload coming up Thursday night against the Saints. Do we need to see some more Tony Pollard back there? I don't know. I just don't need Dak Prescott throwing it more than 40 times. You know, there's all those stats out there, and, you know, like RJ Ochoa probably knows this off the top of his head. I don't. But you remember, you know, there was a stat in the Jason Garrett time frame where if Dak rushed the ball more than 3 times a game, they won. So we all said, why not make sure he gets 3 rushes in there? You know, you got the big menu sheet. You know, you could put a little mark. Dak runs 1, 2, 3, we win, right? The ebb and flow of some of these games, especially the Raiders game, when you look at the 3 and outs quick, you're not helping your defense because you're not taking time off the clock. And a 3 and out is the worst thing for your defense. And they needed a good drive. Even if it was a 3 and out with 3 running plays, they're getting enough of a breather on that bench. Sometimes you got to call plays to help your defense, Kellen Moore. 3 quick plays, minute 9 is off the clock, and they're back out there, and you did nothing to flip the field. You're not helping your defense. Because the defense has played incredibly well based off incoming season expectations. And they got some help coming back this week with DeMarcus Lawrence. But he's just one guy. And you get a DeMarcus, but you lose a Tristan Hill because he's a knucklehead that bitch slapped a Raider after the game and got suspended 2 games. That's what they said in his suspension letter, although they called it an open-handed punch, which in the Urban Dictionary is bitch slap. So that's what we'll go with. But you look at the offense, be a little bit more balanced. It's what you got to do. Dak can make the throws, we know that. But 40, 45, 50 throws a game, it's not a recipe for success, especially when you're in the game. It's not like, you know, all right, first quarter we're down 28-3. We got to throw it all over, just try to catch back up. It wasn't one of those kind of games. Run the ball. Get your guys open. Throw them open. It's what the Cowboys need to do. Thursday night. Cowboys and Saints. Can't wait. Although I'm nervous about it. Taysom Hill come back. Taysom doesn't make me nervous. I need Alvin Kamara for my fantasy team, but I'll sacrifice fantasy loss for a Cowboys win. I'm in second place overall. I've got a playoff spot locked up. I'm still in the money, so I don't need this one. This one's a house money game. In our ESPN league, I saw, who is it, Jack Thompson tweeting all over, bragging about everything. What do he call himself, the fantasy god now? A little mid-season for Jack Thompson. I got 2 wins in that league.
Is one of them against
Just
Jack?
2. No. Nope. I have swept Rudy J. I've got the worst fantasy team in the history of fantasy football. Yet I have swept a playoff-bound Rudy J team in our league. I don't even check the lineup to see who's in there, but somehow I have beaten Rudy J twice.
No bye weeks that week, I'm guessing.
I guess. I don't know. Must have had all my guys. Who knows? I mean, hell, Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback. They had a bye this week, didn't they? I beat Rudy J. But old Jack's bragging already, huh? That he's going to win this fantasy league? We're not even in the playoffs yet.
Got to cross the finish line.
That's what you need to do. And I'd imagine Jack, if he ends up winning this thing, he'll get over to Sammy's Embroidery Club, print himself a fantasy football championship T-shirt. He'll roll around with his own gear that he's going to get. And let's face it, you could do that as well. You need some T-shirts done, you get into Sammy's Embroidery Club. If you need some cold weather gear, Sammy's Embroidery Club will get you taken care of. In fact, if you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on winter gear, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery Club down on San Pedro. In fact, with our trip coming up next week to New York for the Army-Navy game, I need to get some winter gear made with the new San Antonio Sports Star logo on it. You go into Sammy's Embroidery Club, the winter line is on display in the showroom. Jackets, coats, hoodies, half zips, beanies, all the big name brands like North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, and Port Authority. And Sam has plenty of inventory in stock. Not many can say that, but Sammy can. He does. He's got all the polos, T-shirts, hats in stock. In fact, he's got the popular Richardson style cap in stock as well. Largest selection in caps you're going to find. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. And not just embroidery, silkscreen shirts as well for any occasion. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands. He is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big, and all items do come with a warranty. Call Sammy's Embroidery Club at 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, get by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Jason Minix here for Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a long-time Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram truck, part of the Ancira Itonado complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
'Tis the season for savings at Mother's Window Tint, your car stereo and auto security headquarters. Save on 3M Window Tint, 100% legal to get your car dark, dark, dark. This is Texas, baby. 'Tis the season for dark window tint. We do tint front windshields. Yes, 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 we do. And it's perfectly legal, too. At Mother's Window Tint, 'tis the season to make your car go thump, thump, thump. Mother thump. Save on car stereos, amplifiers, and speakers. Save on car alarms. Save on remote starters. Stores in Austin and San Antonio. And on the web at motherswindowtint.com. Are you a people person and like cars? Maybe you can join our team. Contact us by Facebook or on our website, motherswindowtint.com. 'Tis the season to remember. Do it at Mothers and save.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Do your pets have the same energy they used to? Do they have problems with itching, scratching, a dull coat, or goopy ears? Then your pets need Dinovite.
DINOVITE.com.
For over 20 years, pet owners have trusted Dinovite to supplement their pet's diet.
We started Dinovite, and in our first box, we noticed a difference.
Dinovite is an all-natural daily supplement made from whole foods that help support your pet's immune system, digestion, skin, and coat.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
Today's commercial pet foods are processed at high temperatures, which bakes out all the essential goodness. These processed foods can lack the essential vitamins, enzymes, and probiotics that contribute to overall good health. Adding a scoop of Dinovite to your pet's food bowl is the answer.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you'll want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. All 4 of them are on the Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
New this month on BritBox, from New York Times bestselling crime writer Anne Cleeves comes a new original crime drama, The Long Call, exclusively on BritBox. Start your free trial at BritBox.com/radio. That's BritBox.com/radio.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
They're hitting the hardwood and hooping it up. College basketball is back on the court, and we've got all the action.
The three-pointer, it's good!
The games you want to hear all through bowl season. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Greeny on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Always the tough question of the day. What's for dinner? I don't know. Before my wife goes to figure out what that is, if you've got a suggestion that sounds good, tweet at me at Jason Minix. Got to figure out what I'm going to watch on TV tonight. There's no Spurs on, no football on. Although Phoenix Golden State on TNT at 9 o'clock. That's something to watch. You know, I finally did finish out Ted Lasso. So I've got to figure out something else to watch. I wish I could be like Nick Saban and just watch all these coaches sign contracts knowing that my contract is going to be equal to the top 3 average salary. I'm getting paid just by watching you get paid. Had to do it for the Blitz. Make sure you tune in to R&R in the morning. Rob Thompson and Rudy J. Well, you get you going at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll see you tomorrow at 4.
And there are games. Welcome to a whole